Welcome, podcast fans. It's time for the What's Up Bro podcast show presented by J&J Production Studios, the home for all your entertainment needs. All kinds of great topics discussed every week, a variety of different themes offered, special guest appearances, prize giveaways, and so much more. Stay tuned. And now, here are your hosts, Sam Crow and Big Hoss.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome. Happy weekend, one and all. Time for a new episode. Hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. Bam, 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 bam. We're kicking off Saturday night. We're having fun. Of course, as always, it is I, Sam Crow. Big Hoss not joining us tonight, as you guys might have heard from before. He is not feeling well, still ailing, so hopefully we will get him back next weekend. But of course, as always, the show must go on, so I am here tonight. But if you've been following... And again, shame on you guys. If you're not following on social media, please do so. You missed all the announcements. I am not alone tonight. I'm going to say right off the bat, we're going to introduce here. I've been looking forward to this for a very long time, and especially over the last few weeks since we've announced this. Joining us tonight in the building, let me get our applause meter ready. We're going to make this really, I want to hit this timing just right. Joining us for his first appearance on the show, my good friend, Ausin Anema from Orange Moon Project. Round of applause, everybody! I know you probably can't hear it, but I can, so woo-hoo! What's up, man? How's it going? How the hell you been?
Busy, man, but pretty good. No complaints. Just very busy.
I hear you. It's kind of been the story of our life too. I've shared, we talked a little bit. I've shared some of it, but that's just the fun stuff, not the not the chaotic, crazy, boring stuff we talk about. But so glad you could join us here. Glad you could hang out. This is really fun. This is going to be fun tonight because, and I'm telling you, like we've had a lot of great shows this year. You've heard probably some of them we've had posted. We had you guys know too. I'll use this as a quick announcement there. If you didn't check out last weekend. We had Mickey from Mickey and the Doom on. It was a great episode, and of course, obviously, looking forward to having her back. But this is a whole different kind of level we're going to do tonight. So we got so much stuff to dive into here. We're going to get to all kinds of stuff. We're going to give you just a couple quick tidbits. We're not going to take long because we want to just jump in here. So just a reminder for you guys, if you didn't catch it, a new episode posted we did last night of the review show. That's up now. Check it out. Linktree.com/J_J Production Studios. You'll find all the streaming sites where we have our podcast episodes, including the YouTube channel and places like that. And also, don't forget, catch the merchandise store. We have plenty of fun stuff there if you guys want to check it out. There's some discounts, I think, going on now as well. Also, too, make sure you check out Vigilantes Radio. I was on again with our good friend Deanie there. I did a quick little spot last night, which is always fun. And, of course, we were on Pod Squad the other night. The episode's up now on YouTube. You can check it out. This coming Thursday, next Pod Squad episode is karaoke night, so make sure if you didn't sign up to perform, do that now. It's going to be awesome, going to be fun. Hope you guys will check it out. And that's all we got. See? Pretty simple. It's nice when we have guests because we can just roll right through the boring shit and just get right to it. And again, this is the highlight for the night, so you know what? This is why we do what we do here. But anyway, so how we do this... And since Austin is new, and I might have shared this with you, I don't know if I prefaced too much, but I wanted to do it on the air because everybody likes to hear. I give the same spiel to everybody. When you make your first appearance on the show, the first thing we ask anybody is to give us a little bio about yourself. It doesn't have to be anything as far as the music and stuff, which we're going to dive into. If you want to include that, you can. But I'll ask the same question I ask anybody is, tell us a little bit about Austin. Who is Austin? Paint us a Picasso painting of who you are, what you're all about. For again, I know you, but nobody else listening probably doesn't, or those that don't know you too. For the audience out there, who is Austin? Take it away. Go.
I was born on December 19th, 1995, during a wonderful snowstorm. I was conceived probably about 9 months ago. I'm not gonna get into the
great start though. That's good. Okay.
Yeah, not gonna go that route, but okay. I figured it was a good start.
That's enough. We get it. Okay.
I've been playing guitar for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I started about, I don't know, probably when I was like 10 or 11. Got my first guitar for Christmas. It was one of those like real cheap like first act
Oh, sure.
guitars.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, put it away for a couple of years because I was like, wow, this is too hard. Um,
Yep.
however, my high school at the time, when I was like 15, they offered a course on like intro to guitar stuff, or whatever.
Oh,
So
cool. Okay.
took that, learned some stuff. And at the time, my best friend had taken the class a year prior to me. So while we were doing like the introductory, or like the beginning, like everybody's playing like Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Yeah.
Hera
Yep.
was learning. Hera was learning like these thrashy like little Metallica riffs or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
With my buddy Phil. So everybody's doing Mary Had a Little Lamb, and here I am playing Master of Puppets.
Forget Mary had to blow the pants off her. Forget screw that. Yeah. I mean, come on
Yeah,
now.
yeah. We were just kind of cruising. Uh,
Nice.
but yeah, I started with that, and it just opened the whole can of worms. I just pretty
Usually
much
does.
got
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
got involved in a lot of like the hardcore stuff and the 2000s like radio rock, whatever you want to call it. Got really like invested into that, and just I was like, I got to be a musician, got to be a rock star. That's the dream. So
Yeah.
uh, after taking that course in high school, just really kind of went full steam ahead with it, and then got to college, and I kind of just rounded out everything else. Picked up my first bass, picked up a keyboard, bought a drum set, got materials to do production. So, I mean, 99% of what I do, it's literally like all self-taught stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I mean, like, I'm not tooting my own horn, but definitely a one-man band kind of
Yeah, no,
scenario.
toot your horn.
So,
That's great. That's very hard for people to. And again, I've been there. Unfortunately, like musical journey didn't go that way for me in that case. But what I did discover, ironically, and just to share with you, in case you were wondering, I'm glad you asked that. By the way, thank you. No,
I was gonna ask actually. It's
yeah,
been a
no.
hot
So
minute.
the how the podcast came about was similar vein of really. And again, I still get to obviously taste my musical appetites, and it's always nice to have guests that are still, in that having the knowledge there. But the podcasting was kind of the same thing. The idea kind of just, it was something I kind of toyed with, and obviously during the pandemic, we're locked up for 3 months, trying to find an outlet to reconnect to the world.
Yeah.
But I didn't think anything really was going to come of it, because obviously I knew the music didn't work as well for me there, but. And even the early days, if you go back, I tell anybody this, please be gracious, but if you go back and listen to some of the first episodes, the production was really rough, okay? So I still
You
listen
gotta
like
start somewhere.
well, you do, and we can laugh about it now. It wasn't fun back then. Like now, we've had some special shows, like we've hit our anniversary and something, so we'll play like best of clips of, and I go back on, oh my god, what were we thinking? Like this is horrible. Like this is the best we could do. Like is this even gonna work? But it branched off from there, and so, and what's ironic too is, and I mentioned this when I made my appearance on the other show last night, is the theory was we just had the one show. That was really the brainchild where it started. And then it just grew because we had so many ideas for different topics, and again, I didn't want to make it like I didn't want to make these super long episodes because, obviously people are not going to sit down who have the time to say, oh yeah, let's listen to a 3-hour podcast, or, you want to try to grow the attention there and try to keep people, invested, obviously. So what's funny about that though is it's spawned off into all these shows. And I said to Big Hoss, who hopefully maybe next time we get you on, we get a chance to meet him, he'll be healthy for once. So no, it happens. It's what it is.
It is what it is.
I said to him, instead of Idea One Show, we created our own production sort of studio for that one. I said, let's feature different shows. He has a segment he does. I have a segment I do. We have the game corner. You might have seen some if you checked out the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We have all these different things, and like I even said to him today, I checked the numbers today, like since last night, our numbers keep skyrocketing. And I honestly don't know why. Like the shit we do on this show and these stuff, like who listens to this garbage? No offense, but clearly people do. Obviously, we're glad for that. But it's when you think about it, all that hard work, and from the music part of it, you work so hard and you don't see much recognition right away. But once it starts to happen, you're like, oh dang, like this is something actually could work. So in that regard too, we feel similar vibe in that case. But it's some days are better than others. Some days are rough. Some shows, we still have our snafus. Technology's great, but it doesn't always work the way we hope. So
Nope.
I can tell you, even last week's show, like we had some of our friends on, we were doing that, and I realized like after the second break coming back for the first 10 minutes, I left their mics off because it wasn't on. I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, here I am. If you listen to it, you hear me having a conversation which sounds like nobody because I can hear them, but it's not broadcasting out. I'm like,
man.
motherfucker. Like, what? Just, like the whole... And I didn't realize it, so I'm like, oh, shit. But, it still happens. We're trying to work out the kinks, but...
we're all human, man.
It happens, you know what I mean? Yeah, see, you feel me. I get it. It's not hard, but we're glad people enjoy it, and we love it, and we're really happy that, it's growing there. But, so yeah, I can feel you there for sure. But now a little bit more from the history, and I shared this with folks, like, for our connection, right? So obviously we knew you. We worked together once upon a time for a little bit. We did some light collab stuff way back when, too, for a few different things. So, the ideal concept I had was, and I will tell you this, and I'm not saying this just to flatter you because you're here. I had you on the short list for a guest list that I wanted to get you on the show. I actually wanted to get some like old bandmates and stuff, but I haven't worked that out. So I'm like, I was trying to put together like a short list of who could we get to come on. We've had a lot of friends. I've had many people come on, but my goal had been to get you to come here. And it just was happenstance when I really saw like the band page and things were picking up. I'm like, ooh, you know what? This is a great opportunity where now that you're starting to get out there more, I'm like, this could be a great time to, obviously, we're going to try to expose you to a whole new audience here. And, of course, you guys know our rule is when we have guests here, we keep in touch. We'll have Ausin come back, but we will share everything and anything we can. And some other stuff we can do, too, depending on what you guys want to work at, too. We've talked about some things. But it's always nice when we can launch that for people. And that's kind of like we did with Mickey last weekend, too. I said to her, the selling point was just to kind of expose you somewhere else. Like we have a pretty far reach as far as across the country and some parts of the outer world outside the U.S. So we're hoping to, not to say we're patting ourselves on the back, but we're going to try to help jumpstart the phenom, which is going to be Orange Moon Project. But of course, if you do get famous, make sure you get on, on the late night shows. Make sure you just throw us a bone once in a while and say, hey, if it wasn't for this show, no, I'm kidding. I'm just teasing. But yeah, so that's kind of how this came about. So what we're gonna do actually here is we'll start here because this is obviously I know a lot we're gonna go with there. We have some special surprises, like I told you guys. We got some exclusives you're gonna hear tonight. We're gonna save those for a bit later though. I want to tease people. I want to hang on as long as we can. I will say now, it's fair to say because we worked on this. We do have an audio clip now. Tell us a little briefly what this audio clip is gonna feature. That I want to tease people with that. So what do we got?
So I'm sure we'll probably segue into something with this in the conversation later, but there is a song that will be released in December for a specific record, and we'll go into, we can talk about that later. But
we want to draw them in, so a little bit, just tease them a little bit.
But it's 20 seconds of the first single, and it's more or less, just to give you an idea, I mean, it's going to sound like if you've listened to Stranger Things and the soundtrack to that. So if you listen to Stranger Things and then put it with like a band like, I don't know, like Breaking Benjamin or
that's what I was thinking.
or Him or something like that, it very much is that. I mean, you only hear the intro, but I can't give anything else away because I don't want to spoil the direction that it goes, because it's hands down probably my favorite song that I've written to this day, because it's big, it's got like a radio appeal to it, it's catchy, there's so many little things to it, there's so many little tricks to it, and I would say, over the last, I don't know how many years, just like I can hear, like when I finally put the finishing touches on it, it really sounded like I culminated like everything that makes me like the musician that I am. So like there's elements of this, elements of that. So you only get to hear one part of it, but I can't give too much or anything else to it, because as soon as that part kicks in, it just goes. And
well,
like,
that's the thing. Like, it's funny because I listened to it a little bit when I got it uploaded already, and I'm like, this is awesome. And like, I'm watching the ticker going like, because I can hear the tempo picking up, and I will tell you guys here, this isn't exclusive. This is a first that we're gonna play this here, right? This hasn't been played anywhere else, right? So
No.
this is an exclusive, so you have to stay to listen to this. That's why we're gonna put it towards later in the show, so you don't leave us before you get to hear the teaser for that. But
Oh man.
it was incredible though. Like I got to the end, and I'm looking at the timer going, like I could tell the tempo's picking up, and I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna end right at the climax, like right where it picks up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no way. But it's like it still has like the energy is great. So I'm really excited for everybody listening to hear it. So again, make sure you stay tuned for that. You got some other surprises we're going to be talking about too that you wanna share. We're going to cover that. But
Yeah,
let's start here. Well, yeah, I know. Like we like to do a lot of teasers here. Again, we get very special guests who have very interesting hobbies, jobs. You know, we try to stuff the fun in there as much as we can. So we don't like to give it away. We don't like to give it away too much right off the cuff. But so let's start here. Obviously, we know we shared this, we advertised it. Let's talk a little bit about. I want to go back to the origin story, which we're going to let you share here. So, Orange Moon Project. Tell us about it. Tell us about the concept. How did it come about? How did you get from starting that to where you are now? And again, you can, as much detail, go for it. Take it away. Shoot. What do you got? How did it happen? Why did it happen? Give us the. I want the autobiography. Go for it. The music rockumentary. Hit it. Go for it.
It may be a very short origin story.
You're not selling it, dude. Come on, you got to make it sound. I'm giving you your moment in the limelight here, and you're like killing it.
All
like
right.
here, I can see it's like here's gonna be your Rock and Roll Hall of Fame speech. Like, oh, everybody's looking forward to. Yeah, this is like 2 minutes. Like, oh, come on, dude. Like, this is your chance. But no, go ahead. It's fine.
So the band Orange Moon Project was originally called. I think it was 20 Beers Later. I think that's what originally they were called.
Mm-hmm.
The guys that were in the band, Joe, Nick, and John, they're the guys I play with. They were together for I think 6 or 7 years before I came along. And John's fiance actually played bass before I did. And then, long story short, she got knocked up. They went on vacation. 9 months later, there's a baby. So she didn't play.
Happens, so,
Yeah, see, it got a little free. It took one trip. That's all it took.
So wait, let me just clarify real quick before you go on. So what you're saying is your big break only came because the bassist who was the fiance of the other band member got knocked up. That was your big break only. That's what you're gonna sell me here. That's what you're gonna.
Yes.
Okay.
So shout out to you, Brittany. It's all you.
Thanks so much for your. Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay, I get it. That's fine. Everybody's got an origin. So go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
So to where I work now, we have a mutual friend there. Our drummer Nick and guitar player Joe. They came to work maybe like a year and a half ago, where I work now. So we have a mutual friend between the three of us that kind of like introduced us to each other, and just got talking, and come to find out, they found out I played a bunch of instruments. I found out that they were in a band, and it just kind of was like, okay, like everybody kind of gets along. Yeah, like we all have like this, like, we were all getting along pretty quickly. Like there was a very immediate kind of like connection, just on a like friendly level and stuff like that. And then they had asked me like, hey, do you want to come up and like just jam or like kind of hang out for a day? I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, so they're like, well, we have Joe on guitar, and he's like, I play drums, and then we have John on vocals and the other guitar. So I'm like, okay, so bass, like, okay. And I had a bass sitting here. I was like, all right, I haven't really. That's like I play bass, but like my guitar is like my baby. That's like my go-to. So I was like, okay,
the least thing that I touch, but I'll try it anyway. So
yeah, so I was like, all right, I could play it pretty well. I mean, but I'm gonna take a step back. I can kind of be a little more relaxed with it. So, so I went up one weekend, and to preface this, they had asked me to come up and jam with them for like weeks, and I mean like weeks and weeks and weeks. And every time they asked me, because they would do it like every other weekend. Every time they asked, though, I had stuff to do. I was like, I had other obligations. I had work.
You're just dragging your ass, man. Come on, let's not. Don't lie here. We're all friends here. Come on, don't give me. Listen. If the guys are listening, listen. He's full of shit. Okay, he's not telling the truth. We're gonna expose it right here. All right. Come on.
No, I felt so bad because like every time they did ask, I was like, oh man. But yeah, like eventually, like our schedules finally worked out because I did a lot of stuff on the weekends. So when I finally had some free time on the weekends, like it just kind of happened. It was like, okay, hey, I actually have off this weekend. I don't have any
It's
other
a miracle.
obligations. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I was like, I can come up. Like, what time do you want me there? Give me the time, the address. You know, I showed up and everything. We had practice, uh, and it was very immediate. Just the kind of like I didn't really talk. I didn't haven't met John right away. I met the other two because we all worked together,
Sure.
and they had met John at where they used to work. So
Okay.
when I got to meet him, I was like, okay, like they're all new people. Like I don't really know them outside of work, and like there's this other person. I'm gonna be in his house. Like there's a lot to take in, and I'm like I've never played with other musicians before, like in this way. So I was like, I'm used to working by myself. This is going to be very strange. So
This is like the girl who finally gets asked to prom. Now you don't know what to do with yourself because
exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It was so like on my drive up, I'm like, I hope they don't think I suck too bad. And I'm not again.
Oh
Not
yeah,
putting my
yeah.
heart-
That's where it starts right away. You're psyching yourself out before you even get there. Like, oh damn.
Yeah. Like I'm pretty confident in my skill on it on my instruments, but I'm like, I don't know, man. Like these guys
But
probably been playing a hot
that's your
minute.
interpretation. They haven't heard you. You got to get the outside perspective. So you could
Yeah.
sound really good, but then when you play for them, you're like, I'm gonna suck, and they're gonna not. They're gonna be too nice to tell me right to my face.
Exactly. Well, we had practice and everything, and it was just more like a kind of like an improv jam
Yeah,
thing,
just
and
jamming
that's
session. Yep.
yeah. So we were just kind of goofing off, and the very first thing I noticed was just everybody, like music side, everybody is just like they're just friends.
Yeah.
Like they're like great friends with each other, really close. They're attached to one another in that way.
Hmm.
So there's like a friendly brotherly foundation already established. Or
Yeah.
so the fact that like that was the first thing I took notice of, and they were very welcoming and of open arms and just wanted to have a good time and hang out and just be guys. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, like this is like pretty cool. I was expecting a little bit of uptightness with certain things, but they were just so laid back. And they themselves did not give me the impression it was gonna be uptight or anything like that. It's just, again, new people, it's a new situation, you're not
Yeah.
sure.
Well, yeah, sure.
So, yeah, so by the end of practice, or jamming and stuff like that, I I got asked. They're like, "Hey, so we need a bass player, and you're pretty damn good.
Dun,
You
dun,
want to
dun.
I'm like, wait, whoa, hold on. Like, I'm not that good." And they're like, "No, no, no, man, you're pretty good. Like, do
See?
you want to be the bass player?" So I was like, "Okay." Now, I told them, and I hope when they listen to this, if they're listening to it right now, they're gonna be like, "This asshole." So I I told
Spoiler
them,
alert.
yeah. So I told them immediately. I was like, give me a couple days to think about it. Like, I need some time.
Oh, come
Like,
on now.
no, and it was just because like I wanted to think about it because I was like, I don't know these people.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I didn't even leave the house yet. I was like, I'm in. I'm already
You're
in.
already
But
in.
I'm just
You're,
gonna
you're
tease
just
them a little
listen.
bit.
You're just here's the thing. Now look, we're already uncovering. We're already lifting your skirt up here and showing your panties, kind of thing here. Listen, you tell these guys they invite you for weeks. You drag around. You don't show up. You get all nervous, all flustered like a first date. Then you
Yes.
get there, and then they finally give you some encouragement that make you feel good, like you're making it. You're no longer the new kid at fat camp. Now you're actually accepted into the popular clique, and you
Yeah.
still have to think about it. Like, what
Hey,
is this
look.
guy? Do they have to throw a bag
Look.
of money at you? Like, what is it? I mean, I get it, but I'm just saying.
Well, like I said, I'm used to working by myself and stuff like that.
Oh, you're
So
alone.
there
Okay,
was
I
a
get
little,
it.
so there was a little bit of a hesitation just to say yes straight away because I'm like, there's three other opinions in this room. There are three other musicians. I'm like, it is not just me anymore. If I say yes, that
Mhm.
means anything we do, like it's
Collective
it's a
bargaining
team.
agreement. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
So there's that, and I'm not used to that. I'm very used to just being like, I get an idea, I just go with it. Like I don't think twice about it, and I just roll. Plus, the music is very different than what I'm used to playing. I'm used to playing a lot harder stuff. So like stuff maybe like Whitechapel, Asking Alexandria, Black Veil Brides, or Breaking Benjamin, Carnifex. Like that's my bread and butter. But it's a classic rock sound, but it's modern. So if you would take like I don't know, like Nirvana, Eric Johnson,
Yep.
Van Halen, Deep Purple, and then like bring him to like now. That's what it sounds like. So I was like, all right, this is kind of cool because I've always wanted to just kind of have a laid back kind of like rock band and just do stuff like that.
Hmm.
So now that I had an opportunity like that, I was like, all right, like this could work. Like they're just good guys to begin with. like phenomenal guys. Like seriously, when I say phenomenal guys, they are some of the most genuine and nicest guys I've ever met. And I'm like I said, a music aside, just the fact that they're decent human beings. They put their families first. They are hardworking when it comes to
Nice.
the things that matter to them. That's the
Good,
biggest thing that
good
I love about
save.
them.
This is good. He's backpedaling, folks, but that's good. So that I can say now,
Yeah.
you can when you look in the want ads, you're not going to see a new bassist wanted for Orange Moon Project because he just screwed himself royally on the air. That's a good kiss up
Ah,
moment there. It's great, you know. I'm just
I
saying.
would hope not.
I'm just saying. Don't be shocked. But no, that's good. But look, I get. All joking aside, I get it. Like it's really hard to. I had the struggles when I had the band. Now, the biggest problem the band had was I played the drums and percussion for that was I'm not supposed to be heading things up, even though I put the band together. And my usual rule of thumb was this isn't democracy. We work through things. We talk about things.
Mhm.
But, I'm taking responsibility leading the band because I'm the one that put the band together. When push comes to shove. But I never really held that over anybody specifically. But it's difficult because the other thing you look at is as a solo artist going into a group too in a band is, and again I've had this, I've auditioned, I tried different groups there. It's hard to find those same like-minded individuals that you're not going to agree on everything, but the creativity should be at least in the same ballpark, in the same wheelhouse, whatever analogy you want to use there. So when that happens, obviously you have something it should work at least. That's hypothetically
Yeah.
that's the blueprint. That's how it should go. So
Yeah.
it makes sense. But now if you look back at it, so now how long have you guys been rolling now since you did that? It's been how long would you say roughly from that time till you got
Uh,
going?
I've been with them about a little over a year, probably a year and 2 months.
Okay, so it's
That's
still
it.
relatively new in the context for you at least. Not so much they've been together, but you're like
Yeah.
you're like their Ringo Starr coming in, like your replacement coming in, and you're just starting to hit the ground running, which is cool. I mean, again, that's where well, actually, same thing. If I think you might have heard the whole episode there when Nikki said too, same thing with them. They're only about a little over a year going too, and they're just really now
Yeah.
starting to pick up, obviously. But it's nice when you see that because if you're having, and again, I say we talk about the analogy of, or talk about the specifics of success. I always attribute success as in, obviously now you're out playing, you're getting some exposure, it's starting to click a little bit. To have it this soon, now again, they've been working on it for a long time. You're still the new kid on the block, obviously, in that regard. But to
Hmm.
have that where now it's starting to gain traction and gain steam, and now you're
Hmm.
beginning to, gel together, which I'm obviously sure you're very comfortable now together after at least the year and so you've been there. Um,
Yeah.
it's nice to have that because when you have a band, you're either coming from a group or you're and again you've seen it. It's the old adage, the same story of some bands. They change members leave for different reasons, different disagreements over artistic style, things like that. There's all kinds of
Members
things
get
that
knocked
can
up.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like all kinds of things that can mess things up right off the bat. So to have that, that's really awesome because. And obviously, again, you guys have your sights set on getting out there. Sky's the limit. You want to keep going at what you can go, and it will happen. I can tell you for sure. Like I said, for us, same thing. For the podcasting world, it doesn't hit you right away, but at some point, if you're dedicated to it and keep working at it, it can and will happen for you. It just depends on
Hmm.
the level of patience. We've had these discussions with our other friends at different different groups on different shows we've done where one of the questions we did on the Pod Squad show was a lot of people ask, entrepreneurship or podcast, like why does it not work? It's because people don't have patience for that. And music is the same thing. I had a lot of guys I played with, it's like, you want to be rock stars overnight. It doesn't happen like that. I
Nope.
mean, even for these groups like the Stones, the Beatles, somewhere you had to start, and it took a little time. Yeah, they did hit super megastar stardom, but it didn't happen, just like that. So
No.
most people, they don't have the patience there, and so and I'm sure you guys probably had your struggles in the beginning once you really tried to get things going and worked out. But if you can start finding your groove, which and like I said, just based on the clip I heard and heard some of the tracks going in there, it's like it's pretty good. I will say you have a lot of great chemistry just from what we heard there, and like I said, you're probably gonna have ups and downs, peaks and valleys, but if you're on the same page, at least where I'm sure you are at now, you at least have a goal moving forward, right? That's fair to say.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's true because it's very true, especially with people with that mentality of like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna play the big shows, and we're gonna do this, that, and the third, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, like it doesn't come overnight, like you said, like it's like anything else in the world, like you have to work hard, and this
Yep.
is one of those professions, like if you want to really do it, you got to bust your ass like
Oh yeah.
10 times harder than the next guy, because the
Yep.
next guy, it's only gonna take a little bit, but if they have practiced that much harder than you do, then they're gonna squeeze ahead of you. But it
Opportunity
just all
knocks, they're gonna take it. Yeah, exactly. So if
yeah.
you don't miss your chance, that could be it. So you got to capitalize.
Yeah, so that's the one thing I always take that's like I always put there's fun and then there's work. So for me,
Right.
I'm always been the type that like, okay, it's cool with the fun stuff, but it like for me it has to be the work first, because
Right. Mm-hmm.
if you don't get the work down, you can't have the fun to do all
Exactly.
the other stuff.
Yep.
But at the same time, the guys have really kind of shown me, this is something that I had to like really kind of like take a step back with some stuff, because I was like so hyper focused on like just work even before I even was with them. So when I first started playing with them, they got me to kind of like relax a little bit, just kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, just take the edge off, man. Like it's a good weekend. We're all just chilling. We're having fun. So they kind of like reignited like that part of like, okay, this can be fun. It doesn't always have to just be work. And
Yeah.
when you're working hard towards something, you kind of lose sight of the fun because you're just working that hard.
Right. Yep.
I finally taking a break with that and just being like, okay, I can just chill out a little bit and just like have a good time with the guys, and we can
Yeah.
just play music and like let it do its thing. Or they're like, we're all good musicians. No, nobody is. I'm not gonna say nobody is a I don't know, go Michelangelo Basio or the dude from what's it called?
Except the bass player. But
Yeah, no, definitely not. I was gonna say Periphery or what's the other one?
yeah, yeah. I can't think
Polyphia. That's it,
Yeah, yeah,
Polyphia.
yep, yep.
Yeah, and no, ain't nobody in the group like a Polyphia. Nobody's Christina Aguilera, but like
I
the
hope
skills
not.
that we have, work very well with what we do. So now
Modesty.
it's
That's
just
good. Yeah, yeah. That's
yeah.
great. Keep going. I like it. Very humble.
So the
We,
only
we know
thing,
who the true star is, but keep going. He won't admit it, but yeah.
nah, I promise you, if you ever come out to a show, Joe, our guitar player, is an absolutely, he is a wizard on the guitar. And I've seen him do some stuff, and like he's not even thinking about it. He's just doing
Just
it.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Natural talent. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just like, dude, like you make me want to quit guitar because you're that good. And he's just like, I'm just playing. I'm sorry. I was like, bruh, you're
No,
insane.
you're
Like
not. No,
everybody,
you're not. It's good.
like I said, they're all very talented in their own ways. Like Joe is just he is like what I would say is like the sound of the band, because
Yep.
his guitar playing it's very unique. Nick, our drummer, he is very much the backbone. Like he is the foundation and that kind of stuff. He's a very talented drummer. He plays very well by feel. And granted, all three of them, like that's how they started. It was like a jam band, and
Mm-hmm.
they did a lot of improv. So they have this good sense of like how to improv on the spot and just
Yeah.
let's just play by feel. So it works really well for them in that way. So, like I said, Nick's like a phenomenal drummer with that way. He knows where, to kind of structure everybody in that way and be like, okay, like I got a
Mm-hmm.
beat or he's got a riff. All right, I got you. Like, all right, go with this and we'll just go. But like he doesn't think about it. Again, like they just do it. It's just instinct. And then John's a really good singer. He catches a lot of stuff right away, and it's really interesting to see how he writes lyrics and stuff like that, because like I'm somebody like I can write really fast, but it's nice to kind of see how somebody else does it. So
Mm-hmm.
watching John write lyrics and just be like that, just as quick with some things, and maybe be a little more hesitant on other parts. He's like, no, no, no. He's like, maybe not that. Like just seeing the process is different, but he's got like a really good voice. Like he can do these really good highs. He got these really cool like 80s like kind of scream that he
Oh,
does
okay.
during
Yep.
one or
Yep.
two of our songs, and his just voice is it's very good. It's very smoky. It's very grungy. It's very just very like it's a very full voice. It's a unique voice, but it's a full voice. I mean, we just had our last show last weekend. We had to do
Mm-hmm.
sound check, and even the sound guy was like, that's impressive. You're fairly loud."
Yeah. Without
So,
the yeah.
and he's
That's a
like, "Oh
compliment.
my
Yeah, that's
god,
high praise.
yeah."
Well, now here's the question though, because now I heard all this. This is great, and I'm not trying to start dissension here for that, but who's the eye candy then? Who's the pretty one for the band? Now I'm gonna put you on blast. I'm hoping the guys are listening because I want to see if this starts something. But go ahead, let's be honest. Who's the eye candy? Come on, you can tell me. We're all friends here, and the thousands of listeners, whatever you know.
I'm gonna go with Joe, and that's just because Joe is adorable.
Okay.
All right. Ooh, okay. He's quiet. We call him Silent Joe.
Okay. Yeah.
We call him Silent Joe because he doesn't speak that much. Like he talks or whatever,
he's
but
like
strong
silent type. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And he like I said, his guitar does his talking for him, so he doesn't have to do a whole lot of work with that stuff. But like I said, he's just an adorable guy, and he's just so cool. But he always has like these really quip like one-liners, and he usually kills everybody. So he's got the humor. It's tucked away sometimes, but I would say he's the eye candy.
Okay, all right. Well, again, you're honest. I mean, here's the thing, like the thing I love here, and this is what I'm saying. We're gonna keep doing this tonight because I'm gonna be poking you. I want to see if we're gonna let any truth slip because I'm taking the role of TMZ tonight. Okay, this is where we're gonna see if we can expose that. But so far, you're acing the test there, which is great. I mean, and it's really fun because when you see that closeness, obviously the bonds there, the camaraderie, everything kind of gels. And again, I've been there, and I've had a lot of great people that I played along with when I did, so I understand that perspective of it. So, it's nice though. But when you can do that, and obviously, I'm sure if I ask the other guys that, they're all going to point to the other person saying, "Oh yeah, he's great too." He's nobody's going to take the limelight necessarily. Now, if I ask Joe that, I'm going to tell him, by the way, well, he probably heard you say he's adorable, so you heard that here. But
he's going to tell me that at practice. He'll be like, "Why are you calling me adorable, bro?"
Yeah, especially on the airway. And again, people listen, so he's the adorable one. So you might have started a whole new trend there, but that's okay. But it's just kind of neat when you kind of see that. And again, short period of time, you guys have, I would say, at least from my assessment, I've done research, I've seen what you have going there. I would say, and it's early, but I'd say you've had some pretty good successes right off. I mean, obviously you're out playing and you're doing different things. So at least it's good to see how things are growing. And I will say, and I'm sure you guys are too, excited to see what's going to transverse that into the future because obviously the growth is something that you want too. But it's really awesome. And again, we're gonna dig more into that here, and we're gonna obviously talk about a whole bunch of other things too. We're just getting fired up here. This is good. I mean, this is we're gonna turn this on our ear. Actually, I want to really see how we can divulge and get into it here. So what we're gonna do actually is in just a second, because I'm watching my clock meter because our meeting time is running out. This is the only drawback. So one of the upgrades we might do in the future is we don't have the paid subscription, so we only get so much time on a Zoom call. But as I mentioned too, keep that link up. That still works. I just have to restart the meeting, and so typically I will play a commercial. We'll have a couple songs. Unfortunately, Zoom changed their policy now where you can't just restart the meeting. You have to wait like 5 minutes or 8 minutes. They get you. Like before, I could just reflip the script and it was fine. So you'll bear with me. I'll be chatting with you off airway too. But perfect time though for you guys. Catch a break if you need to use the bathroom. Obviously, if you need to as well, you got time. I'll message you when we're coming back. But
okay.
Make sure you guys come back though. We got plenty more. We're just getting warmed up. This is the tip of the iceberg. We are going to dive more into getting to know Austin, getting to know Orange Moon Project. We're going to talk about some solo projects you've got going on. We got some fun announcements. And remember, as our time is about to run out, you might see me disappear because the meeting's going to end. But we have a little soundbite for you guys and some updates that we're going to share that you're going to hear at the show tonight first. So make sure you are still listening, because if you don't, you're not going to hear what's coming up. I'm excited because I only know some things, but I don't know everything. So you're going to hear it here first. We have the exclusive. So make sure you come back for more. But we appreciate having Austin here again. We'll have him come back as well. Actually, this is just, you kind of have to now. That's just a thing. But just to put it out there, I'm just saying. So, but we're glad to do that. We got plenty more on the docket here. Stay tuned, you guys. I'm just waiting to hear. I'm trying to BS in my moment because this is, of course, any other time it takes forever for this to end, but it should be just about there. But we're going to roll some commercial to give you guys a break. We're going to come back and talk with more. Ausin Anema from the band Orange Moon Project joining us tonight. First appearance on the What's Up Bro podcast show, Saturday night, August 24th. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. There it goes. We'll be back shortly for more. Stay tuned. Do not miss what's coming up next. Plenty more action, more excitement. Who knows which way this conversation is going to go. It's been taking some wild turns already. I'm sure it's going to take a whole bunch more wild turns to come. Stick around. We'll be right back right after this.
Hey audio fans, are you looking for fun and excitement? Have you been searching for that special show? You know, the one complete package you want in a podcast? Then check out the What's Up Bro podcast show and experience what true entertainment is all about. Stay tuned and don't miss the action. Available on your favorite streaming services, including YouTube. Thank you for all your support. And as always, we'll see you at the show.
We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
Hey there, do you love podcasts? Are you having difficulty finding the right ones to listen to? Is it frustrating when you're trying to pick that show? You know, the one where everyone must collectively agree on? Like finding a good movie or TV show to watch, do you look for the most jam-packed entertainment that's possible to find in a single episode every week? Then search no more, and welcome to J&J Production Studios. It's our business to provide the best entertainment and information available for you. Whether you're sitting in that comfy chair with your favorite snack and beverage listening live each week, or downloading your favorite show episodes to take with you on the go while you're at work, exercising, or even just to play at night for you to fall asleep to. There's something for everyone, no matter what size, shape, or age you are. Visit www.linktree.com/J_J Production Studios to find all the streaming services where our podcast shows can be found. You can also connect with us on your favorite social media platforms, including Facebook and Twitter. You can join our public Discord server and chat directly with us. But wait, there's more. You can subscribe to our official YouTube channel and be notified every time a new show is broadcast. Wish you could have some studio souvenirs or collectibles? Guess what? You can. Visit the official store where you can purchase items featuring your favorite podcast and show hosts. Would you like to help support us? You can do that by getting your very own exclusive membership on our Patreon account. All proceeds go to help us upgrade our shows, which will only enhance the entertainment provided to you. Thank you so much. We're excited to have you as an audience. Your love and support are always appreciated. We'll see you soon.
Break time is over. We're so glad you stayed tuned. Now back to the action as the show is set to resume.
And with that, welcome back, everybody. Thanks so much for being patient. We are back here. If you're just tuning in live, great timing. special episode tonight. We have with us my good friend Ausin Anema from the band Orange Moon Project in the house tonight. We're getting him back in here in just a second. Let me get out my announcement from the chat here. If you want to chat with us during the show, if you have questions, if you want to say hi to Austin, let us know in the chats. We will respond to you. We'd love to have some audience participation. That would be great. Man, let's see. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to type here and read at the same time. I can't read the print. There we go. Okay. But yeah, tune in, listen in. Get your friends listening, too, if you haven't had a chance to get everybody situated. Now would be a very good time. Let me just give Austin the nod. Do-do-do-do-do. Let's see. Alright. Okay. Did use the time wisely. Was able to get out. Shared the links for the episode if you guys need to have it directly. Check out social media. Posted on Facebook, X, Tumblr, Instagram. I think I covered everybody. Let me make sure. This is what I did last time. There we go. Okay. Let's get Austin back. We're getting the audio back. I almost made the same darn mistake I did last time. There he comes. How we good? We got audio. You can hear me okay?
I hear you loud and clear. Can
Perfect.
you hear me, good sir?
I can. Here's the funny part. I almost did the same. Remember I mentioned earlier, I almost made the same mistake. I pull up the screen so I have the video so I can. We can see each other here.
Yeah.
I almost forgot to turn the mics back on, so I had to be talking to myself, answering questions that people have no clue. Caught myself. I can see the mics off. We're good. So, and again, we'll just refresh everybody. In case you don't know, this is Austin. If you weren't listening, make sure you again, shame. But hey, listen, it's fun. We're having a good time, and we're chatting here. I appreciate the compliments, dude. I really do. I mean, we really try hard to. Same vein, we try to bring and again, we're not. I always my personal philosophy and ideology for this is we're not doing anything different that hasn't been done, but we're trying to bring our own unique flair. Same thing like with bands. All bands do the same. We're not, and the only difference is too, like with music too. We've used this analogy where I'm not trying to compete with other artists. I'm just trying to be me. We're trying to bring our own unique flair. We try to complement other groups. I'm not trying to step on people. You're gonna love us, you're gonna hate us, but I'm trying. We want to create something specially unique, which is why I will throw it back in your court. We like to have unique individuals come on to help make this show because I really feel like the guests we have do it. Obviously, our theme shows coming up. The holidays are always a blast. People love those. I will say. And just because Austin is here, because we talked about this too, I'll throw this out there. I did actually make contact with representation for possibly another celebrity guest to show in here. I haven't heard back yet. And I will give Austin this clue because I told him a while ago who it was. It's actually in the same... this person is famous for the same thing we talked about where they appeared on. The same show, we'll say that. Just a different character. Hoping to see if that pans out. That's all I'm going to say for you guys because we don't have anything. Yep, fingers crossed. Nothing is guaranteed. I'm hoping to hear back from their representation from their booking agent, so we'll see how that goes, but we're trying. But yeah, we do try to really put our best efforts forward, and again, even if it's a few people, it's still entertaining, we still enjoy it, but, same thing that you do the music. You love to do it, so you do it because... If nothing else, and we enjoy it, it's relaxing for us for the weekend, so, we can talk nonsense all we want, and no one's going to give a shit because it's our show, and, not that we say we don't value opinions, but, again, you don't like us, you don't have to listen, but we hope you do. But, we're not worried about any blowback whatsoever. We try to have fun, and we do preface certain topics when we talk about it that, we make sure people understand. It's just our viewpoint, it's our opinion. It doesn't mean we're right, but... we are, truthfully. You just can't accept you can't say it on the airway. But you see how that works. But diving back in here. So, I'm putting this out there. We'll see if we get any questions there. Sometimes we get chats during the show. And again, it's just people want to reach out and say hello. I'm doing our chat show, because the chat man tonight, because normally it's Big Hoss's job, but since he's not here, I have to play double duty. I pretty much run most of the things here, but, I had a question. Let me see. Give me a sec. I was thinking about it during the break.
I may have an answer.
We're gonna. Like I said, I'm trying to get personal. I'm really trying to. I'm not trying to break the band up. We're gonna save that segment for the when we talk about the solo projects and how well you're doing with those. That's for that later. But so with now, let's see. Here's the question, because this is something that I struggled with when I had the band going there. Now, obviously, this probably works different for you guys, but one of the hardest things I've always told people who don't understand what it takes to put work into this, when you have a group of people, a group of bandmates, and I've had guys and gals I play with, there's at least the band size. I try to get at least a 4 to 5 piece band. That was standard for that. The problem is, and again, everybody is uniquely different. We have different schedules. How is it trying to coordinate? Obviously shows are shows, you drop everything, that's what happens, but even just practices, like how do you guys have difficulties when you try to work schedules? Does everyday life get in the way? Do schedules change? Like, how much of that is a factor when you guys are trying to make this work?
Scheduling isn't so bad. Like, usually we typically will have practice either every Sunday or every other Sunday. We keep it that way. We throw in every once in a while a Saturday, and again, it's everybody's got jobs or whatever. You can't you can't quit your full-time job and just be musicians when you don't have anything to sell. But we all work during the week. 3 of us are night shift people, myself included. And then John's a day shift person, so our schedules are completely opposite during the week. So then when it comes to the weekend, that's when we're available. So we leave Saturday for everybody is our day to either kind of get some sleep, caught up, or spend time with our families,
sure,
and loved ones. And then Sunday is okay, if we're able to, if there's no other family obligations or things that need to be taken care of, then okay, Sunday is practice day. Okay. So we coordinate it pretty early. Now it's we used to do it Thursday, Friday, of that week or whatever. So we'd be okay, so we having practice in the next 2 days or whatever. But now we're okay, it's Monday, a day after we have practice. All right, is everybody good for this Sunday? I'm good. And then obviously if things change, we change. But most of the time, everything stays pretty consistent.
That's good.
We're pretty steady and pretty consistent with having practice every weekend. However, I will say, because the guys will bring this up if they are on this show in the future, they will talk about one practice that I missed, and I had a family. I had a family thing that I had to take care of.
There better be a good reason. I can't wait to hear this. Okay.
I don't see my older brother that often. Okay. He lives multiple hours away. Okay. So we had this guys' weekend plan. Me, my younger brother, and my older brother. We had this plan for a long time. Okay. And it just came to that weekend. They're hey, we're gonna practice. I'm I will not be here. I told them weeks in advance. I was hey, okay. I'm not gonna be
fair
here.
Enough. Okay.
So it wasn't it was a spur of the moment thing. So I told them, hey, I won't be here. Good. You go ahead, do practice, whatever you guys are going to do. So I went up for the weekend. I come back, and the guys could not look at me straight for 2 days. And I was what's the, are you okay? And our drummer, Nick, he's just he has this shitty grin on his face. And I was what is so funny? He's you'll see on Sunday. Don't worry. I was oh, God.
That's what happens.
So long story short, I will not reveal too much about it. But there's a song that was created that was about a particular body part of mine that they ended up putting together, and I got to hear it at practice that when I came back that following week. I didn't know whether to be concerned or to laugh my ass off because it was hysterical listening to it the first time.
So let's say, can we ask this? Let me take a guess, okay? And again, we're not going to reveal it, but I have a pretty good idea. Are we talking front or back?
We're just going back.
Perfect. That's what I thought. Okay, got it. Go ahead. Gotcha. Okay. It
was. I will say, our last show, we were okay, we'll throw it in just for kicks, have fun with it, and just see what happens. We played it. I promise you, that is the only time we will ever play that song.
He says
it's a fun song. Folks, but... Oh no, it's a funny song at the time, but I think one time is enough.
Okay.
I think one night of embarrassment is enough.
Well, we'll say then that's okay. So if I'm going to tally this, if I'm going to judge that, based on the excuse, I will give you points for, you did mention it earlier, you weren't a complete asshole diva where you told them the day before, like Saturday night, hey, I'm not showing up tomorrow, guys.
Nah.
So that's reasonable. That's fair. And again, that's the only practice now, if you were getting a bad rep as missing practice every so often, that's different. But that's fair. I would barely accept a kidney transplant or let's see, what's the other? Kidney stones or appendicitis, or if you were dying. That's really that's pushing it, but I would accept that if that were me. So fortunately for you, it didn't have any impact because I didn't have to sign that certificate there, sign off you saying, okay, I'm not showing up. But no, life happens. It really, like this show here, like now, we've had instances where the nice thing about this is if we have the availability. Which actually the platform is going to change. We're actually starting to. I'll share a little, since we're doing a little pillow talk here. I'll share some insights for us for the future, as you were mentioning it off the air here. We are looking at additionally expanding because this platform we have, the changing the format. We're starting next year. We can't go live anymore, so we have to record, which still is fine. But it actually works really nicely, and it's unfortunate to change it because we like to be live too. But we've had instances where we try not to cancel shows, but if we can record ahead of time, like now the Mickey episode, ironically, we record. I did that. We interviewed during the week. That was done on the Tuesday before, and then I set it to upload for Saturday, so it gave us the night off, which is always kind of gives us a little break. But it's nice to have that little opportunity where you can do that, and sometimes. I know back a couple months ago I was sick like nothing else, and I told even Haas we probably missed about. I'd say at least 2.5, 3 weekends. I just couldn't, I said, no, I'm not strong enough for the mic. I don't have the voice. I just can't, I can't do it. And I said to him, if you want to do your own thing or do one of the other shows, he's like, I don't want to, I said, well, all right, then we'll just, I put it out there. I posted it saying, due to illness, blah, blah, blah. It does happen, but it's at least if you have the option to do things, you try to do. Actually, matter of fact, ironically too, speaking of Mickey again, apparently they had posted and announced they were supposed to have a show tonight, and they had to cancel for unforeseen reasons. So things do happen. You just can't work it through. But it's kind of like the whole. And I had this. I knew guys were going to quit the band because they're just not showing up, and it was always a different excuse of I have to this, I have to do that. Look, if you just don't want to commit, don't commit. I'm actually going to check. Let's see if we have any chats here, just real quick. Not yet. But it does happen. So I give you a pass. But you did it very nice. You gave full notice. Obviously they didn't fire you, so there's that.
No, I hope not.
I love the story, though, because I was going to say, if that were me, I would have wrote a song about that body part for you, too, because that's perfect, because you are that type that, had to miss one practice.
Yeah, I go to, every practice, so it was literally the one time I didn't make this practice. I actually
miss it, yeah.
It was I vow to never miss a practice ever again.
Well, what's going to happen if you miss the next practice, right?
Yeah,
you know which body part they're going to write about next, right?
That's where I'm concerned. So I'm refraining from any possible thing that there's an opportunity where I'll miss it. Because if that's the case, I'll be like, guys, we just don't have practice this weekend. I can't trust you guys.
Even if I'm sick, I'm gonna show up. I'll crawl out of my deathbed and be there. What the hell? I'm just gonna. You're not writing about my body parts anymore.
No.
That's pretty funny. But it's nice. And again, it happens. But at least there's that communication, understanding. I still want to. We're gonna do this very shortly, pretty soon. I want to get the clip going because that's now. Is that going to be? That's a band song. That's not a solo project thing, right? I just want to make sure I preface that too. So
no, that'll be a solo thing.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, then we can transition. I want to transition a little bit. That's perfect because we're gonna shift gears a little bit here. I want to dive in because we know obviously you guys have seen Ausin that the band's going good. Sometimes a lot of the great ones though like to have their solo projects, and it's not because they're not satisfied with the band. I did this to be fair, I did this with Mickey too. I asked her and she said she does, things on her own too. It's not because she's not satisfied with the band, but sometimes you need that extra outage to express your own creativity. Because like you said at the beginning of the show too, you're used to doing things, you have these ideas, you just want to roll with them. But then you have the band responsibility where you kind of have to work things through. So if you're able to have where you can still express your solo outlet yourself as an individual, that's always great. So I'm really curious, and this is a broad question, but I want you to enlighten me. What are we talking solo? What do you got on the fire? Because I've heard some of the projects you've done before, But I'm really curious, especially seeing how the band is going. What do you got cooking? Like, and again, I heard this song. What are some of the things you can tell us? Maybe some firsts here, some surprises we don't know about. What are some solo? What can we peel the curtain back here? I want to pump it out of you here. What can we give? What's the EP? What's the track? Are you going? Again, I'm not causing controversy. You're not going solo from the band, but are you going to be the Paul McCartney? Are you going to release a solo album too? What are you doing? Tell us. Starts right here.
Yeah, so I have one other project that I do, one solo project that I do on my own.
Okay.
That, everybody, anybody that follows me on social media or anything like that, they know of it. It's on there. They see it. I'm a big horror nerd. I love everything Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Video games, movies, television. If it's spooky, I'm probably into it.
October's coming fast. Yes, that's Halloween month. Yeah. Yep.
This is my favorite time of the year,
Yep.
and it's Ashley's favorite. Which for those that don't know,
I recall. That's one of the things I love was I remember the years, and obviously for those that don't know, if we can say it, Ashley, your significant other there, worked together at one time. And one of the things I loved was I remember a couple times during the Halloween, like the type of the season, like October, coming to work dressed like she had her. I'm like, this is really cool. Like.
Yeah,
I love the expression of it because she'd have like this whole like Elvira thing going. I'm like, that's awesome, and I'm like, and it fits the theme because it was October. But I feel you. Yeah, this is great. This is that time of year where like, yeah, it's the only thing I like about the cold weather. But after that, yeah,
it's like so after that.
Yeah, pretty much shoveling and it sucks. But so you were saying?
So I also went to when I went to college, I majored in media, so I took time where I focused on, the program itself was focused on all things media. So it was audio production, it was television production, and it was photography and stuff like that. So, I got to dabble in all of it, but I focused mainly on, the audio production. But the television stuff I didn't get to do a whole lot of, but I still learned a decent amount where I could have started implementing these skills and putting it towards other stuff. So that's where the horror stuff became, because I really started getting into the horror movies and just comic books and that, Creature from the oh my god, not Creature from the Black Lagoon.
That's really going. That's older than you, but I get you. Yeah, there you go.
But Werewolf by Night or Dracula, and then you have the Marvel comics, more of them, Doctor Strange. It's, there's a lot of Lovecraft kind of styled stuff like that in there, and there's a lot of other ones. But the idea was I wanted to blend this idea and this love for horror movies with music, and I wasn't sure how, because there was bands that I love, Ice Nine Kills is one of my favorite bands of all time, and that's one of the things that they write songs about horror movies, and it's amazing. It comes out and there's crazy masterpieces. So I was like, well, how can I do something like that, but it's different for me? So I had a friend at work, and she just she was always like, you gotta put something out, because she would hear a lot of this stuff, all the demos I'd work on, because when I'm at work, we have a partner we would work with a lot of times. So her and I would just exchange demos all the time, be like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? So we have very different opinions on music and very different tastes, but it was that difference that really, kind of gave us a good insight into okay, maybe to somebody that's not a casual listener to this, we can try this.
Sure.
So, long story short, I combined the horror and I combined cinema film score styled music, and I put them together. And that's what the whole project is. It's meant to be just horror cinema music, and that there's other stuff that'll be in there at some point, but I created the project Slash Revisions, and it's a once a year thing I do that it scratches the itch, or reaches the itch, however you want to say it. Tickles that itch of wanting to do horror music.
Sure.
Because it's that's not something I would ever want to incorporate with Orange Moon Project. I feel maybe elements of it could be cool in there, but I don't think as a whole it would, it's not for us. When I say I love horror, I mean I love horror. So I would.
Oh no, I get you. Yeah. Yep.
It's 100% all the way in.
Yeah.
So so every year now, I'm gonna put out a EP of 3 to 4 songs, and they're all gonna be very spooky-esque, or just very cinematic in that way. So the one I did last year, It was 3 songs, and they were more industrial, kind of trap kind of beats, but they still had like the horror,
Sure.
like kind of cinema feel to them.
Yep.
And a lot of that like industrial, like trap kind of feel was because my friend at work that I was partners with, she listened to a lot of like hip hop, trap, that kind of stuff, and R&B. So a lot of that, like just us spending time together at work, that kind of influenced the decision to do that.
Nice.
However, this year, which this is one of the things I wanted to surprise everybody with.
Here we go. Hang on. Let me set you up here. Drum roll, please. First surprise for the night. What?
So Volume 2 of The Night We Love to Fear will be out on October 11th, but
Uh-oh.
it will be 4 songs this year. So there will be 3. Now, every song I did last year was instrumental. It's meant to be film score. This year there will be, again, 3 more film score ones, and they're going to be leaning towards more like the traditional horror film score stuff. So like violins, strings, like just general orchestral instruments, nothing electronic really. But there will be 1 song that is a cover that will have vocals on it. I do have somebody that is very near and dear to me that is going to be on the EP with me. She's going to sing on it. I am so excited. Her voice is beautiful, and I'm so excited to have her on here. I will not say who it is yet because I want it to be a surprise.
I might know. Do I know who it is? I think I might have an idea.
You may.
I won't say it either, but I think I know because I only because if it's who I think it is, I always felt like she had that sort of hidden talent where she wouldn't like to overly divulge that she could do it, but yet because I will say again, if it's the person that I think I know, I may have heard it in passing before, just when she thought she was alone doing stuff, and I'm like, ooh, you know what, that sounds really the echo even too, like. Where's that coming from? And I'm like, that was you. So that's okay. That's all I'm going to say. That's great.
Yeah, but however, I did also meet. I had met a girl named Holly. She and I both have a very strong interest in the same kind of music or whatever. So nothing is definite. We have 1 or 2 songs we worked on together already. I don't know when they'll be put out, but that will be put towards like the Slasher Vision project. But they'll just be kind of like one-off things that her and I do. So. I look forward to when her and I work on that stuff. We both agreed was like, this is a fun thing, just whenever we have time, and we'll do it. So that won't matter too much at the time of the year. But to go back to the EP for this year, the part of it that's more special this year is that there will be an accompanying short film that's going to go with it. So there's going to be an actual like cinematic like story that's going to go along with the songs that are in there.
Wow.
So you can have like you can watch the short film, you can have the companion piece to listen to, or you can just listen to the EP and then just go watch short, whatever you want to do. You could take one, you could take both, you could take neither. It doesn't matter, but at least you'll have a different kind of package deal. Like you'll get a visual and a sonic representation of it.
We're definitely gonna have to. I gotta say, we're definitely gonna have to work with you. You're gonna have to do a commercial for us. This is just getting me psyched up for the like. Here's the thing. First of all, let me say this, and if it's been bothering me because I've been trying to figure it out, I love the jacket there. I can see it. You guys can't see it. I've been trying to figure it out. Ironically, that's actually one of my favorite series. I watch it every October, and except for the first one, I can't because nothing happens for an hour and a half. Like I usually skip right to the second one. But I love the idea for this because I'm a big fan of the classic cults for that too. Like it's almost like you're doing John Carpenter rolls in with George Romero. Like you're kind of like blending this. The film and John Carpenter did a lot of great scores for a lot of great movies. I mean, I'm talking the old classics. I mean, some newer ones, but the ones like from The Fog, from the Halloween, obviously, which is iconic everywhere. Yep. But I like to see the transcending and the blending of how you kind of mix this and mash it up. It's really like, and I think it would work fantastic because there's so many areas you can go with it. Like you hear like the spook tracks that are used for all kinds of things. There's so many directions you could take with it. Like the possibilities are endless, really. If you and because you love it so much, I'm sure you've started to dive in and say, look, this is where we could take this. Like there's all kinds of levels you could go, but I think that's really awesome. And I'm a big component. I love it too. Having the sound bites are great. The sound is good, but if you can add a visual element to it, it just seems like that really draws people in. Not everybody's wired that way. Usually people can do one or the other. They can't do both collectively. So if you can do that, that's really truly unique. But That's incredible. That's going to be great, and obviously you're launching it at the best time coming in October there.
Very well planned. I'm even working with the same guy I worked with last year who did the artwork for the cover. So I'm very excited. I was actually just talking to him today about it, and he's just as excited as I am because he and I both really just enjoy like just talking and be like, oh, what do you got? What's the idea this year? Like, what you got? And so we talked about it, before, and then we were talking about it again today, and he's just like, dude, he's like, I'm so excited for this. Like, this is gonna be so cool. He's like, I'm so busy right now. He's like, when I get some free time next week, he's like, I'm gonna just get at this, and it's gonna be so cool. It's gonna blow your mind. And I'm like, all right, cool.
That's
like,
really that's great. Like, now I will say this because I know we talked about some business prospects and doing some things, and I'm just gonna throw this out there again. This is for you for solo or for the band stuff. One of the things we do that we have, and again, we're looking at broadening our horizon for this upcoming year, but if you have again, it can't be the whole song too if you want. Like, again, once you obviously release things, we obviously just would need the permission to play it, but we'd be happy to run tracks like during our commercial breaks. And I'm always looking for. I'll tell you why too. What made me think of this is we do our theme shows, and obviously we do Halloween. And I have Halloween tracks for that, but I would love to mix it up. The problem we have obviously is I have to find royalty free because I always have issues like with YouTube naturally. So if it's something that, again, there's no rush for that, but if you ever say like, hey, I got these, and obviously it's promotion, we can play for you guys, for you or whatever. If you want to share it, I'd love to put it in. Like, during our commercial, we have a couple commercials that we run musical tracks. So just to give you another outlet too, if you ever want, we'd be happy to do that. Just to throw that out there. No pressure, obviously, but and we don't claim it for ourselves. We just need permission to play it, and we won't sell it third party, anything like that. It strictly stays with us, and obviously. That kind of thing. But I'd love to have it where, because that's the hardest thing. Like, I've heard so many good tracks like I want to use, but unless you get like the artist permission and stuff, like you can't play it. And obviously that's ridiculous with some of the higher end tracks. So just throwing that out there. So something to think about. But again, we won't obviously tip off anything that's not been released yet. But that's a really cool concept, though. I will say. I mean, it's and again, I'm sure like there's some things done, but I love to hear like. When people have these goals and these ideas of just kind of and because the passion that you're dedicated to it, I think works really well. And I'm just going to spiel here for a minute. I think we might actually plug this in because I'm excited. I'm trying to hold off playing this track clip, but now that you're talking about all this stuff, I think we're getting close to the point where we can play this. This is going to be a first. This is going to be the exclusive play of this track, which I'm gonna when we get there in a second, I'll let you set the stage for that before we play it. But no, it's awesome. I mean, it's really nice to see, and like again, you are very well versed where you have the band projects, but yet you have your own, outlets there, and that's kind of like again we do it here. We have this is the main show we have, which we collectively work on, but Haas has his little segment, I have my own segment. Like we do have our own little unique individual points that we do, but yet it still kind of ties in together. So, but for the same reason, like we're different personalities too. We like to talk about different things. It's not like we don't want to be with each other, talking about stuff, but it's kind of nice to have that extra little side thing going that, and obviously for us it works great because we have more content, which actually, matter of factly, and I shared this, and if you might have seen that, we uploaded a post, but we actually merged with one of the guys who was mentoring us, who's been in the radio game doing that, and we actually
see that.
Yeah, we took their show. And we embedded it into our network that we have because obviously he kind of thought we needed to have that merging partnership. We did that. We did the merchandise, same thing, and we got everything cleared with him. With again, same thing. The money stuff from that is strictly we split that with him. That's all theirs. We just kind of facilitate, which is what we talked about a little bit too. But it's nice to have that because it gives us and it helps to boost numbers up, and it gives our main goal is to have like the content genre to be as wide open as possible because I still approach this like I approach music. My musical goal was, and I implemented that with the band and even some stuff I tried to write on myself. I had some lyrics I wrote for some things. It was, I wanted to be universally sound where, certain bands, certain genres of music draw certain groups of people, certain fan base. There's the rock type, there's, the jazz people, there's punk rock, there's whatever. Yep. I want it to be universal where I'm like, we could do a little bit of everything because the more you can do, the more audience you draw in because they'll be able to say, oh, hey, we like rock, they can play that, or oh hey, they like jazz, we can do a little jazz or a little whatever. I do draw the line though. I don't do screamo or any kind of thing like that. There's a limit, and I don't know how you feel. I don't think it's music personally, but I'm not trying to spark controversy. But
You're breaking my heart, sir.
sorry.
You're breaking my heart.
let me do this much. I will say there are some exceptions to that rule. I will say if it's done the right way. Maybe I just heard too many groups or solo artists that do it not quite right. I'm just like, maybe I'm just too old school. I don't know. I try to be open. Well, same thing with country. I'm not a huge country fan, but I've heard certain songs that I've kind of forced myself to listen to that, gets me to, I appreciate it. And again, it's no disrespect to anybody who enjoys that. Everybody has their own thing, but, it's just nice to have the ability to kind of have that wide scope of opportunity there. So, and I'm a business endeavor. I'm an entrepreneur in that regard. I like to find any which way I can to, broaden the spectrum, if you will. So, but that's really fascinating. Sounds like you got a lot there. And I'm sure as time goes on, you're going to find more stuff and you're going to see, and that's the other thing I was going to say, the collaborations. When you find other people that can work with you, like, we just started doing that with some of the guys from the other shows that we've met and we kind of blended in. We're starting to spread out too. It's really nice to have that because, again, we're all trying to succeed together. So, like we've had them on our show, they boost our numbers. I've joined the show regular from another show that's helping to boost numbers there. And it's not because we're trying to weasel our way in or trying to force in. We're just trying to all rise to the level of success together. So I think that's really important, and especially nowadays, everything being digital and everything being what it is, and obviously with social media, things can just blow up. But it's just nice to kind of have that sort of opportunity to do that. But it's really awesome. I will say too, like I'm really excited for you guys seeing what the projects with the band, what you got going on. Obviously, we're going to follow that closely. But so let's segue into this because again, I don't think I can wait anymore. I've been putting the lid on the pot again, only because I had a sneak peek first before this got played. So I'm going to reset the tone, and then we're going to have you give the details here, just in case anybody came in late and didn't hear this. So you heard the first bonus kind of stuff that was shared tonight, so I guess this is kind of surprise number 2, I guess, if you want to call it that. Essentially. So we have a special clip we're going to play, and so I'm going to say to Austin, I'm going to pretend I don't know what it is. So Austin, tell us, what are we going to listen to again? I forget now. Can you remind me?
Well, Justin, let me tell you about it.
Please do. I'm all ears. Go ahead.
So, aside from Orange Moon Project and aside from Slasher Vision, I will preface this by saying that I have a computer full of songs that I'll be honest, I'm tired of looking at on my computer that'll never see the light of day. And my patience of waiting for them to come out has kind of it's gone now. Yep. So I'm like, I've done all this work myself. I wrote them all myself. There was nobody else there to help to do this stuff. I'm like, what am I doing not doing anything with it? So to just kind of lead into it, there is a third project that there will be an album out next year. I'm not sure when, and it's not an EP. This will be a full album, about 10 to 12 songs. There's about 6 of them that are done. 6 of them that are done. They've all been started at least. So I do have 10 to 12 songs already picked out. I'm like, okay, this will work. But
when do you sleep? I mean, I'm kidding.
Well, but yeah, so I have this third project, and it's just kind of like none of this stuff would work with OMP, and it wouldn't completely fit in Slasher Vision. So it's another just my own project, but it's just me, and I'm just kind of doing all this stuff myself. So again, writing, recording, mixing, mastering, the whole 9. That's the whole gig with it. But there's the 2000s rock scene in there. There's some punk in there. There's some metalcore Spirit Box in there. There's a lot of gothic elements in there. There's industrial. There's a lot of elements into it, and like I was saying earlier, it really kind of encompasses and encapsulates everything, all the music that I listen to, that I've really grown to love, and that I feel is probably the closest to me. So I feel like this project itself, this is just okay, nobody's ever heard songs that I have written. It's always besides the Slasher Vision stuff, nobody's heard me sing yet. Nobody's heard me any of the songs I've ever written. So I'm like, now you guys are gonna kind of get to hear it all at once. And the guys in OMP have heard me half-ass sing, but they have not heard me really like actually try and like really push and see what I can do. So there's a lot of so there's stuff in there I'm sure if they would hear it, they'd be like, "So when did you do this? Because I didn't hear you do this before."
And now
So
he's just showing off too. Look at this. Look at
well,
this
no.
guy. Come on now, like, jeez.
Well, again, I don't think a death growl is gonna go right well with a modern classic rock band. I mean,
you never know.
yeah, I mean, there is a song I have written that is thrown in there, but again, that is for another day to do that with them. But this project, the first single, will be out in December. It'll actually be around, I think, my birthday. I was deciding on, so it'll be out in December. First single will be Brightburn. And it's like I said, it's very much like just all these elements encapsulated. So it's like part Motionless White, part Stranger Things, part Breaking Benjamin, part 9 Inch Nails. There's so much into it. There's a lot of flavors to it. It's a really interesting thing. So yeah.
Well,
so you guys will get to hear for
here
the
we
first
go. Yeah,
20
let's
seconds.
do it. Let's do it. Since you brought Brightburn is the song here, so we'll play this for you guys. This is your exclusive first listen, behind the scenes check of this. It's only 20 seconds, and if you're like me, you're going to be so disappointed because it's going to start picking up right when it cuts off. But hopefully that will leave you open-ended to hear more. So here we go. So is it fair to say, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first time it's going to be played on the airway? It's actually going to be heard by...
Nobody's heard it except for Ashley. She's the only individual that has heard it, and she thought it, and she liked it. So she's heard the whole thing. So
okay, well, I only heard a snippet, and I love it. So if that tells you anything. So here we go. But this is for you guys. J&J Production Studios, the What's Up Bro Show. This is a perk for you guys. Here we go. This is the song Brightburn. Here's a teaser for you. I'll leave our mics on so we can comment when it's over, but it's only 20 seconds. Here we go. Buckle up. In 3, 2, 1. Here's the debut. And right there, see what I'm saying? Right at that crucial part, but that is, I mean, I will say, like, it's got that heart pounding, like, it's almost like you can see it in a horror film there. It's like this, like when something's gonna happen kind of a feel to it. Like,
yeah, it's
really unique though. And I mean, I'm always a big fan of the pulsating vibe to it, which, I think is awesome. We'll definitely probably play at least one more time before the night's over. We might even, if you're okay with that, we'll hold on to it. We might even use it for a future. Maybe we'll tease you guys now and again just to kind of
by all means
keep the flame going, because you have to actually listen to the whole track. It's kind of like those people that go on like, iTunes or Spotify. They don't buy the song. They just play the freebie that's like 10 seconds. Like, just buy the damn song. If it's available, like, if I had to, I could buy it because it would be there. Like, I want to hear the whole thing. I get tired of the first 10 seconds. I want to know the other 2 minutes and 45 seconds, whatever long it is. So, but if we can keep teasing that would be awesome. But that's really great. And you've had that for what? Quite a while, right? How long have you been sitting on that one, would you say?
Probably about a year.
Jeez.
Yeah, like I said, I have a computer full of songs. Like, I'm not kidding you. So there's so much to it. And when that song comes out, like, it's a big song. I mean, it's got, like I said, if you listen to any radio rock song, you know what it's like to have the big anthemic choruses, but it goes from like the rock, and then it goes to metalcore, and then it goes to like deathcore stuff, then it goes to this big cinematic
you just cover
moment
everything.
where
Yeah, you just kind of
like there's so many elements. Like I took that song and covered everything that I wanted to do in a song. I wanted it to be partly simple. I wanted it to be really complex at a different part. I wanted it to be ambient. I wanted it to be huge. I wanted it to feel like the world was coming down on you. Like, I mean,
you see
like,
the genius here, folks. Like, here's the Mozart. He's been sitting on this, and now people are going to push you. Like, what is wrong with you, man? This world needs to hear this shit. What's going on?
No, man. It'll be cool. I'll be excited when everybody gets to hear it, the full song.
I can't wait either. This is great. What we're gonna do is actually, we got about another minute. We're gonna have another break here. I'm actually going to. This is a first because we haven't had other tracks for this. We're gonna play that clip to lead out of the break, just to tease people again. We might actually play it during the break again in between. I might just screw with some people there just in case you weren't paying attention. But
that is criminal.
No, you know what? I don't care. It's my show. So, you know, like, we can do what we want here. There's no remorse. Forget the FCC stuff. I don't care about, you know. No, I'm kidding. But any chance we get to divulge that, we do. So when we come back, though, after this break, this is going to be fun, too. I want to get to the nitty-gritty stuff. I want to get to the stuff you're holding out that we haven't talked about, the other surprises, other updates that you were holding out on us, any other hidden talents, like if you can juggle that we didn't know about, or maybe you actually... See, you say that, and here's the guy like, oh yeah, I got a whole computer full of the songs like you just heard a clip from, and nobody's ever going to hear them. I don't know if they're any good or not, but you know what's going to happen too is who's going to be the millionaire one day for that one.
I think you're pushing it now.
Oh, listen, I'll push all I want. This is our audience here, so listen, you get used to the stardom, my friend, because this is where it all starts. I mean, come on. If I had my way, I'll be blasting this all the time. You might get famous in a week, but
no, I don't.
You might get #1 in Asia. We got some listeners far out in the Middle East too, so you never know. I mean, we're just saying, but we'll play this out. We'll segue this out. We're going to come back and we're going to dive into some fun stuff. I'm going to see if I can play investigative journalist and see if we can pump some information. We can twist. I can't physically because we're not physically in the same spot. But if I can do some verbal jujitsu and see if we can get some things to slip out, whether that's the band stuff, whether that's more soul. This guy's got like, it's like you're like the Wizard of Oz. You peel back the curtain and like all this stuff. It's like, man. So
you were blowing so much smoke up my ass right now.
I'll be blowing a lot more than that. Listen, if they can write a song about it, I'm gonna blow the smoke there, my friend. There it goes, and there goes our break. So. Stay tuned, you guys. I hope you're enjoying this. We're going to come back. We're going to dive into some more secrets and mysteries with Ausin Anema here at the What's Up Bro podcast show, Saturday night, August 24th. Hope you guys are enjoying it, having a great weekend. Can't wait to see what's coming up next. I am going to start by sending this off. We're going to play this teaser for you again. It's a new song that Ausin has been holding out on you guys. You guys need to hear this. Spread the love when it comes out. We'll let you guys know updates when that happens. But the song is Brightburn. We're going to play this out, and then we're going to jump right into some more tracks, and then we're going to come back and talk more with Ausin. Hope you guys are enjoying it. We'll see you shortly. Don't go away. Plenty yet to come when we return. So stay tuned. Do not miss what's coming up next.
there, enjoying the show? Do you want even more great content? Then check out linktree.com/J_J Production Studios, where you'll find everything you need for the entertainment you deserve, such as links to your favorite streaming services where our podcast shows are featured. Find and connect with us on your favorite social media and live streaming platforms. The official studio channel on YouTube. Like and subscribe today. Our official studio store where you can find all kinds of great merchandise. Would you like to support us? You can do so by getting your own exclusive membership on our Patreon account. Do you want to ensure you don't miss a single bit of detailed information? Then have it sent directly to you by joining our emailing list. Stay up to date on all the latest from J&J Production Studios. Thank you so much for listening. We love and appreciate all your support, and until next time, we'll see you at the show.
We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. Break time is over. We're so glad you stayed tuned. Now back to the action as the show is set to resume.
And welcome back, guys. Thanks so much for chilling out there. So glad to have you back here. If you're just tuning in, welcome. This is the What's Up Bro podcast show, brought to you, of course, by the one and only J&J Production Studios, your one true home for entertainment. We are here live with my good friend Ausin Anema, who's joining us. Let me let him know to come on back in. We are talking his band Orange Moon Project. We are talking some solo stuff. We got some teasers there. We got a new song that he's been holding out on, folks, that he put out there, which we're going to be playing on a regular basis there. Maybe eventually we can... I'll wait till he comes in so I can publicly humiliate him when he comes. There he go. Here he comes.
I heard humiliate publicly.
Yeah, that's what I said. We're
now
going to
I'm
wait till he
nervous.
comes in. So I was just saying to the folks coming back in, segueing in, that maybe we can coax you into, when you get the full song out for that, we can take that and play it here. We can play the whole thing when, of course, it releases and if it's available. And I mean, we'll purchase it obviously if you want royalties from it too. But and thank you, Austin was complimenting. I will tell you this: we'll go back to what we said at the beginning of the show. I'm as Big Hoss would say, I'm the pretty boy. I'm the eye candy of this organization here. So I am typically the spokesman. I'm the one that they try to push in front of the camera. So I'm used to soloing it a little bit now and again. But it's nice to have other people, of course. But again, it all thanks goes back to our guests too, because our guests make it really a treat and special too when we can, engage. And we've had a. Oh, hang on, I'm not really hearing anything. I got quite an itch going on. Ooh, these headset. There we go. We have a lot of fun when we have different people that really make the show. Ours is a collection of misfits and Muppets that we get in here that, we like to highlight with folks. But it really does make the show. So really appreciate that. And like I said, that's why you got to come back. So you got to hang out more because this is a lot of fun. And it's unique. And again, for the weekend, it just makes us a chance to hang out. So there you go.
Yeah, man, we've talked for those of the people that are listening. Justin and I have known each other a while,
Mm-hmm.
but we get caught up in our own lives and stuff like that. Like anybody else, you get busy, so we don't talk a whole lot recently. So it's just we get the casual, hey man, how you doing? Hey, I'm doing good. You doing good? Yeah, I'm doing good. Okay,
Still
and
we're good. That's it. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because we just get busy with doing stuff, and then we always get hey man, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, the holiday stuff. But that's really it, because we both have our own lives. We have other responsibilities, and our schedules just don't always line up. So, he and I have known each other a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we go back. So, it's nice to kind of do this podcast with you guys, and it's just it doesn't feel like I'm working or doing something
Nope.
this is something for the band. No, you had texted me. You're like, hey man, you just want to come on the podcast because what the hell, why not? And I was like, okay, we just hanging out tonight.
Free
That's
publicity
it.
either way. What other incentive do you need? We don't pay our guests, but I mean, come on now.
Exactly.
Where else do you get this kind of shenanigans and the bullshit kind of stuff that we do that, most... I will say I'm proud of that, but no, it's true. And here's the thing, and like I said, and I said this, and I'll just reiterate for the folks if you're tuning in now, when the show started to pick up, we'll put it that way, and when we started to see a lot of growth, and obviously we had guests lined up, things were starting to line up. I had some other friends I hadn't seen forever, worked out great. Like I said, and I'm not blowing smoke. We're going to blow smoke up your ass again in a minute, but not that way. Just so we're clear, this is purely, there is some family element here, so not that. But no, but when I had an idea for this, you're actually one of the first ones I thought about, because I'm like, you know what? This would be fun. And again, I know you were still dabbling with your artisticness with music and stuff. But truthfully, though, I'm glad we waited, because now, and this is why, like I said, we'll put this out here on blast, because I know we've talked to the other guys if they're there too. Obviously, we're working on some stuff, but we've talked about some possible collabs we can work with you guys on, which I will just state openly, and I will state this for, we're talking to the band, and I'm sure they're listening too for that one there too. Again, we're not trancing, we're not pushing ourselves on anybody, but we like to help launch things, whether that's, like I said, if you have songs, as long as you're okay with it. Again, we don't take any profits from anything, we don't steal anything, we don't pirate anything. It would be nice for us to play other things. Like I said, I have the same standard tracks, but we have a subscription that I use that's royalty free, so that we don't have issues. But again, since you are the obviously, if it's your solo stuff or it's the band stuff, we would have permission from the actual, that makes it easier. But like I said too, and I'll throw it out there, and now you guys want to think about it, it's fine. Like the merch store, we've had guests on where we do brands for that. Like we have stuff out there, which again, company that we work for that does that, and it's completely it will cost you $0. Honestly, it won't cost anything. Obviously all of the artwork images, if there's stuff you want to share that we can put up there, that's what we just ask you if we can have permission to do that. And whatever profits are there, you take. The only thing that we would say, for example, I don't know if I may have mentioned this, but if, say, for instance, we have merchandise up in the store for you, you have a live show and you want some stuff to take with you, you hit me up and say, hey, can you order me 20, 15 t-shirts or something, whatever. Be like, all right, that's fine, we can do that. Maybe just pay the shipping and stuff for that. But if you want to have stuff to take with you on the road or wherever you're going, that would be the exception. But we don't, like I said, we want to, and we've offered this for other people, doing things and actually my friend who I train with, we do our Into the Martial Arts World segment we have on there. I have the logo in there, and I said to him, are you okay if I use that? I'd love to have some items there, because he has some stuff. But I'm like, do you mind if I, because we have things from important stuff your cups and your shirts and your jackets and hats and all that stuff.
The typical merch things.
Pretty much, but then it gets weird. We used to have the masks when COVID was big that you could do those. Yep. We have stickers, we have pop sockets, we have what else did they? I was looking geez, we actually have wall art. You could actually just to entice you if you want the canvas prints, for example, these canvas oil you can actually get, and I think the biggest size is what was it, 18 by 30. It's pretty big. So if you wanted a huge wall, you have your band logo or something, it can be done. So just to give you an example, but no, we try to look for what makes the show unique is opportunities where, again, we're not trying to steal the limelight, obviously, too. We have our thing. We just find if we can collab with people, we've put it out there before, other podcasters, which we just started doing, come in, work with us, we'll work with you. We're not doing it because, oh, hey, you want us to be under our umbrella. We're trying to all collectively do something. So there is that, which is nice. But yeah, no, I mean, it's really nice. And this is a slot time where we kick back and we hang out, and it's just a good time. That's why I said, as long as you don't hate it that much, you're welcome to come back anytime. We can obviously, and bring the guys. Hey, come on, sit. We'll have a party. We'll have a whatever. I mean, listen, the more the merrier. So it's just more BS we can throw out the wall. So, that's an option. But now I want to. Speaking of that, and I'm going to do this. We're going to get back to smoke blowing here because.
Oh man.
This is you can't escape it. I know you thought you were free and clear, but no, we're going to do. So, I want to pick brain a little bit. So I'm going to pose this question because I don't know. I have trying to figure out where to target this question, but.
Okay.
Where are some other maybe updates, some surprises, maybe some future things? What can you divulge here? What can I pry out of you that maybe has not been heard? This will be a first time hearing. What we can share, and be honest. I will tell you. I can tell if you're not lying, if you're lying. So don't hold back here. But we're gonna push the envelope here. I'm gonna keep nagging you like a fly in the face. Take your time. Wait.
For Slasher Visions and the other project, what I've told you about them previously, that's about it for them. I'm keeping them very minimal.
Okay, fair enough.
And that's just because that's what they are, and I don't want to make plans with them yet until just to see how things go. I mean, there could be future things, but I don't know what the opportunities can bring.
That's dangerous. Okay, so now you heard it. He said there's opportunities. So guess what we're gonna do? Now we're gonna blow smoke and say, if you want to hear from the up and coming soloist, Mr. Ausin Anema here, like these videos, like and share this, and let him know, because if we put enough pressure on you, we might actually have to drag it out of you to keep sharing this stuff. So now you just give me the bullets for the gun. Now, thanks for that.
There are opportunities that have been. All right. There have been opportunities that have been presented to me that I have had to turn down, because they do take away from maybe things that I would do with Orange Moon Project or with Slasher Visions, and I don't want to do that. I enjoy my time with the guys.
Sure.
And like they're just a great group of guys. The other opportunities, like they're cool, and it's very flattering to be given some of the offers that I've been given, and to I don't. It's not to like sound like there's an ego to it, but like to have. It's one thing when one or two people come up to you, but when you have like 10 to 15 people come up to you or text you or send you emails like, hey, so I see you do this. Can you not like, can you do that with us? Like, can you come over to like either our band or can you do this? And it's like, no, I'm like, this is my focus. Like, and I do appreciate the flattery. I love it. And it feels very nice to have that kind of like, that kind of like want in the market or whatever, like that somebody like wants what I have or whatever. But I'm like,
okay, all right. You know what? You see what this jerk is doing here? Okay,
I'm just,
I'm just saying. But like, listen, this is the thing that gets me. Like, you okay? Let me back up here because this is where I want to.
Oh
this guy, okay, is sitting here again. Humble pie, a slice of humble pie or cake, whatever your pleasure is. And he goes, first of all, I can tell you, you're kissing up because you don't want to lose your spot with the band. Nice save, by the way, there.
I'm not. There's no kissing up. Believe me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. Hey, if you guys are listening and you want to write a song, write that song about the other body part. I give you my blessing to do that. You're gonna, because
don't listen to him. Please don't do this, guys.
It's okay. Oh, listen, I'll make you guys famous overnight. So hey, if you want that, go ahead. But no, like I get it though. And again, it's nice because it's kind of like for us too. Like, and again, an example was. Our last big project, ideally, which this was probably something that we had. I mean, we had all the graphic designs, we had artworks done, we had all this stuff, we had the social media, everything blew up. The biggest thing we wanted was a website, which obviously everybody utilizes. But the problem we were having was I had talked to a few developers. Obviously, that's not my forte. I don't do that stuff. We were finding it difficult to. I had a certain project of what I wanted the site to encompass. And most of the designers were like, well, I can do this, but I can't do that. You're kind of pushing the envelope with this. And all right, so kind of the dream kind of got pushed to the wayside. And we advertised it a lot saying, hopefully sometime before, I think it was the end of last year, we were going to try. And then I believe actually it was around the holidays at the end of 23, we said, maybe sometime this year we might have something, but don't know. Turns out, and we get offers all the time from, a lot of it's junk, it's not real or it's spam and all that. I mean, you can kind of tell the difference, but we get offers on social media all the time. I'm a what do you call it? I can't think of the name of it now. I produce, not produce, but I advertise for podcasts. I can grow your channel. I can give you followers. I can and it's no disrespect to those. We appreciate the offers. We've had a lot of them. I've had people reach out saying I want to do this. I want to do artwork for it. I love it. I appreciate it. Thank you. We're content for now. But with the website, it was actually we had an offer from somebody who said they actually did a mock of the website. Believe it or not, I thought it was just hoax kind of a thing or it was phooey. But I looked at it, and then they're like, if you log in, so I logged in. We paid a subscription, and we claimed it, and then we did the tweaking to make it more personal for us. But I'm like, this was really cool. We've had some people that like, hey, we love your show. Here's some artwork we did for you. I'm like, oh, this is really neat. But, you have all this kind of stuff. So I get it, and it's nice to be wanted. You're not actively shopping yourself, but it's like your work is really being appreciated. If people are coming to you, you're not going to them. Yeah. So, I mean...
And that's the thing. Like, it's like I'm not... Like, I don't ever put anything up on Facebook or anything like that. Oh, I did this, so like I'm offering this service, or I'm doing this, or I'll do this for you.
Here we go with the humble pie again.
So it's like the stuff I'm doing in the band, which I will say, like I took on a lot when I joined the group with the guys. And it wasn't like oh, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna do this, and this. It was just it kind of like these things just kind of fell into my lap, and like I just kind of took the ball and ran with it.
Sure, well that's fair.
They asked me to be a bass player, and I was like, okay, cool, fine. So then I showed him like a song or two, maybe a couple weeks into being with him. I was like, hey, I can write songs really quick. Like, this is what I can do. They're like, okay, so you can write. That's good. Then we had a night where, I don't know, they saw I could sing a little bit. They're like, okay, so you can sing and play at the same time. I was like, okay. So then I kind of took over like doing the social media stuff. And it was just because we ended up when we were getting ready to do our Sherman Theater show back in February, which shout out to Sherman Theater for having us in the first place.
Yeah, it looked awesome. It looked great. Yeah.
To have a band with no material out, never played one show before.
Complete nobodies. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no. Well, no, technically we were because like nobody knew who we were. So like the fact that we sold the way they built the lineup or like the lineup for like the night. There was 6 bands total. We ended up being the second band that sold the most tickets. We could not believe that like the other band that was played that closed out the night, the Cellar Dwellers, which if anybody looks for them on social media, follow them. They are absolutely phenomenal. They are just fresh out of high school. Like we met them and they're seriously, you would think you're talking to 40-year-old wise men, but they are like 18, 19 years old. It is so incredible to see that kind of professionalism, respectfulness, and like just technical skill, like in people that young. So it's crazy. But to go back to the Sherman thing, like they sold like close to 100 tickets, and we ended up selling, I don't know, we sold maybe like 20 under them. And it was like it was really close. But again, like they've played out a lot. All the other bands that we played with, they either played out or they had material out or they had both. We had nothing. So with the fact that we sold as many tickets as we did, we were like, "Holy crap! There's no way."
What does that tell you, though? Honestly, if you think about it, what does that say? I mean, it could be a lot of things, but what what's your interpretation from that? What did you get from hearing that?
I have no clue. We were just 4 dudes in a basement, and we were just like,
dumbstruck. I know, yeah.
What? Well, yeah, because like the Sherman had put up this advertisement for that event, and they were like, hey, local talent, like if you guys are interested, submit or whatever. And there was a lot of bands that probably submitted for it.
Oh sure, oh yeah.
So and it was like you get to be on the big stage, like the stage that all the big touring acts like
they're clamoring for. They want to do it. Yeah, they want to get up there. Yeah.
Yeah, so like if this is something to do, like this is the one to do. So like you got to be on the big stage. You got the full on big lights, the fog, the audio. Like it was like you were treated like you were like on tour and you were like the headliner. That's what it felt like. So it was really amazing to feel that. But the fact that we had nothing out, never played a show before, and we sold that many tickets our first show, and that was our first show, and then we got the response that we did. I mean, there's videos on if anybody goes on like our Facebook or Instagram, you can see and hear the crowd applause after we finished like the last song, and our singer John, he got everybody clapping to the last song because we couldn't believe it. Like it, honestly, like watching that video, it still kind of brings a tear to my eye because the day after the show while we watched it, I cried because I was like, that was like the moment I was like, holy crap, like this is my childhood dream. Like I actually did it.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, I never thought like it was really going to happen. I wanted it, but I didn't know it was going to happen. So the fact that it happened and watching it like it settled. It was like, holy crap, like we're really doing this. Like this is awesome. So
how it goes. Yeah,
it's crazy, but
it hasn't really it sinks in, but yet you go back because that's like and I remember like even for us, like we never had that big show, but we had the first gig, which was a friend of mine just playing like at a high school graduation party, and it's nothing, no bells or whistles, but I always go back to that because that's like this was really like as much as it would have been nice to perform in front of like a lot of people and maybe even like say at the Eastern Arts Theater there in East whatever playing on the show but the idea was it was so memorable because it was our first real like opportunity to play in front of people. And I mean I remember that I go back like we had this was 10 years ago maybe 10 gosh no hang on I'm getting older now I forget hang on let's see 14 10 about 12 years ago. We were approached, we had the offer, we accepted. I said to my friend, I said, do you have a set list? Like, we don't have a lot of original stuff. We were starting to, work on that, but I said, give me some ideas. What do you want? And then I said to the guys, all right, we started practicing. We had maybe 3 weeks ahead of the show or the head of the performance to do it. And I always approach it, and I'm like, look, this is a backyard show, but let's be professional. We were dressed up, we had all this stuff, Of course, it was 95 degrees out that day, but I said, still, I want to have that persona where, we're taking it to show that we're serious and that we're really not just, audibly pleasing, but we're physically, it's all there. But when you play that, and I'm like, I still have, more than a decade ago, I still think about it because it left so much of a monumental moment that I can only imagine playing like the show like that is going to do for you guys, because that was, a huge, and I've seen a lot of the photo, like it looks fantastic. Like, I mean, again, it was really, probably like really, it's fair to say like a once in a lifetime opportunity, honestly, if you think about it, right? Like, I mean,
yeah, because I don't even know any band that, like, even like talking or like looking through stories of like bands that have been successful. No,
Yeah.
I don't ever think I've ever seen a band get that like as a first show and not have anything to play, or
Yeah,
like
right.
never played a show or anything. So it's like this was literally like it was a Hail Mary moment putting it in for it, because when I put in for it and I had like sent the email and compiled all of our stuff together, I was like, guys, hey, I'm putting in for this. I don't know if we're gonna get it. I'm just gonna try. And this was just, again, it was just, I saw it and I let the guys know. 2 weeks later, it was like, hey, you guys are being considered. We're like, hold on, wait a
Time
minute,
out.
this is crazy. And then another week went by and they're like, all right, you guys are in. We're
You're
like,
in.
what? We're like, we didn't even like it just baffled our minds. Just, but it was. I'm telling you, I don't. At that moment, I know, at least for me, it was like it definitely settled in. Like, there is no turning back from this.
No,
You
it's
dumb
it.
ass. Like, I that's the most naturally.
Mm-hmm.
That it felt like I was like at the right place, and like it felt the most natural to me. I've done a lot of things,
Yeah.
and it just like that felt like I was so comfortable on stage, just playing and doing everything and stuff, and then looking out and seeing, having, I wasn't even paying attention to the lights, but we had a crazy light show going on.
It
I don't
seemed
know,
like
whoever
it, yeah.
whoever the light guy was that night. Shout out to you,
Props.
dude,
Woo!
because you were
Yeah.
like, you were on point when we
Here, wait,
came
let's
up.
do let's
Thank
do
you.
this right here. Let me get my sound effects. I know you probably can't hear. Let's do let's do our cheering section and our round of applause for the sound guy at the show. Woo!
Yeah,
You know it.
the whole thing, sound, lights, the whole nine. Like the Sherman Theater themselves, they are an absolutely amazing crew, production, and venue. The whole nine, like the entire experience. We didn't have one bad thing with them. They are 10 out of 10. We were just so flattered that they even took us the first time, and then after we finished our set, they were so shocked when we told them, hey, like, this is our first time ever playing out. They're like, well, you guys have to come back now. Like, it has
There
to
you
happen.
go.
So
It's
we're
like,
like, okay.
why
Which,
not?
yeah,
like,
so we
thank
ended
you.
up doing.
Thank you for taking us, our nobodies who we thought were
Yeah,
losers, but we get our
literally.
shot. But
Yeah.
not
But
to
we did
rub
that
it
last
in,
week.
but well, that's like even for us here. Like, and I was thinking like that's similar vibe we did with the show, because I would be remiss if I don't share this, because Big Hoss likes to toot his own horn. This was his probably moment in the Glory Sun where he made me look like a jackass, but I will say I look back now going like, this is great. So we had our plan, we had our show, we had all this stuff. We just needed to launch it. Now the platform that we use now is what we have our subscription with. We started with a freebie, which certain tiers you can get different things, and I wanted to try at least to kind of get a feel for it to see, because he did the research, I hadn't done it, and I'm one of those. I'm not saying it's not a good platform, but it's like when you buy a car, like you don't always want to buy the first offer. You kind of want to
Yep.
feel it out.
Shop
But
around a little.
yeah, so I'm like, all right, well, let's try it for free, this and that. I'm trying to remember what the platform. I think it was we could only upload, I think, 1 or 2 episodes. Like there's a small limit because it's the free option, and so he's telling me, dude, we gotta pay the, there's a couple different tiers. Like there's like the actually, let me tell you, I'll pull it up because I don't want to I'm gonna screw this up if I say it wrong. Let's bring up speaker here if I can find their plans there, because again, this is like the highlight that made us what we were there. Let me see if I can find it here. Bear with me a second. Our platform, I think it's on here. No, it's not. Hang on, we'll find it here. I know it's here. They also just changed the format, so this is all different. Which you think after a while I would learn how to adjust in this, but I can't. I'll find it. Well, anyway, the tier was we're at the standard tier, which is it's good for us because obviously there's like the more tiers you can do, you can collab, you can have, there's different things, like you can have different sets, all this stuff. The original idea too was, now they changed it, was for the level that you're at, you get a certain amount of storage space, which is what I was worried about because I'm like, well, I know we're going to be blowing off episodes left and right, especially with 9 shows that we feature now.
And that fills up fairly quickly.
Yeah, and I'm like, I could back it all up on the computer, but I'm like, I might have to get a flash drive for that. I think it's this whole thing. But anyway, that changed, which is nice. We don't have that anymore. But it was, I'm like, you know what? All right, he's pushing me. He's like, listen, this is going to grow. Again, this is why he toots his horn, but I give it to him. He's like, this is going to grow real quick. We should just invest in this. And it's a modest fee every month we pay, which is fine. All right, sure, why not? We can start monetizing the episodes. They play ads. We make the profit, this and that. Sure, why not? Hey, worst case, we can always cancel, move on, whatever, blah blah blah.
Exactly. It's not like you're not in a contract.
No, we can. So I'm like, it's what it is. We'll try it just to get off the ground. That's fine. And actually, so I will say this, and I will say I was a complete jackass because we love the platform. Spreaker is great. It actually turned us on to a partnering company website called Fiverr, which is almost like a Craigslist, sort of like a There's artists there. We found like all the graphics you can kind of see. Well, you've seen a lot of logos. Like we had these designed. I contacted people. We paid for them. They came out fantastic. They're like, "What do you want? What are you looking for?" We had the voice actors did the commercials, all of this stuff. Even like the graphics for like if you've probably seen our socials too, all that stuff up there. We had that done, and I'm like, this is all because of this platform. Which the cost is like, see, I told you. See, all right, you jerk. I get it. Like, all right, I get it. It was cute in the beginning, but like, okay, I get it. But same thing. We can't go back either because, like, I said earlier, those rough episodes, we go back and we listen to them for motivation because I can laugh now about it. It wasn't fun then, but at least it tells me where I've seen where we were and now where we're at and where we potentially could go. It's inspirational, right? Like it causes you to want to go forward. So in that same vein, see now you guys having the Sherman Oaks experience here. This could be your coup d'etat, if you will. This could be, the Beatles playing in Hamburg kind of thing. This is the show that could, and yes, this is the smoke blowing part, okay? I'm gonna inflate the ego here. You could be the next best thing since white sliced bread, okay? So
all right, hold on. White bread is phenomenal. Potato bread, let's get real here.
All right, how about potato any kind of bread? You'll be the next best thing since the wheel was invented. We'll put it that way.
All right, now you're really blowing some up.
I'm telling you, like I said, you give me free range, and I have no filter, no sugarcoating, nothing. So, and it's not because we're biased either. I'm just saying. But it's nice when you get that because again, everybody deserves at least that one moment in the spotlight. Hopefully it's not the last, but everybody doesn't. You're never sure. You don't know like what's going to happen, where it's going to go.
Because life happens.
It does. So let me ask this then, because I know we talked a little bit about this, and again, I'm probing you for information here. I'm really trying to. I've got to get something that slip out here. I don't know what it is, but so now talking with the band now, I gotta figure out how to ask this question right because I want to see if I can trip you up to answer this question. But
I promise you won't.
I'm gonna
having
give my
siblings, having cousins and siblings and stuff like that of all ages, and I've had all the tricks tried on me before, and I had a conversation with the guys a few weeks ago where they're like, "I'm gonna give you the silent treatment." I quite literally was like, "That's fine. I've done this before."
Ooh, like
so
that.
for like nothing will. I promise you, nothing will phase me. Nothing will.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, here, let's try this
promise.
then. I just remembered something. Let's try this. Okay, so. I want to get an answer to at least this one question. If you don't answer it, I'm going to have to talk to the guys about writing that body part and make sure it's graphic enough to put out there. And it will be a featured track. So if you don't answer, they can. And again, just kick me like 2% of the royalties. I don't need it. It was my idea. If you think of the lyrics,
fair enough.
That's fair. So with the band though, what? And this is going to sound very broad. But what are some future hopes, or what is the What do you got your horizon set on for the future? Have you thought about that? Like, are there things that maybe, is that fair to put that? I guess that's the best question. I can't think of a better way. So, you come up with a better answer. It was a lame question, but you come up with a better answer. So go ahead.
No, that's something I really wanted to talk about a little bit because I know we're all excited for the next thing that we have coming up. We had just finished our Sherman. We did 2 Sherman shows. We did the one back in February, and then we did a Sherman showcase show. Because there's two venues in Sherman. There's the big stage, and then there's Sherman Showcase, which is like a 100-cap venue.
Okay.
So we just did that, and we did really well. But now we have our next show coming up in the end of September, up in Schnecksville at the Carnival of Chaos 4. This is the 4th year they've done it. We were referred by a friend that played there, I guess last year. I can't remember. I have to look at the text messages.
Yeah, it's a happen.
But they were like, hey, like you guys did really good at Sherman. Like you guys should look into this. Like I think you guys would have a lot of fun, and I think these guys would like you, and I think you would fit in there with that crowd a lot. I was like, okay, so took what they said, and I was like, okay, so got a hold of the guy that runs the Carnival of Chaos stuff and sent out the information because he had just posted. He's like, hey, we're doing Carnival of Chaos 4. Like, if you guys want to come up, like, submit your stuff, but like,
Sure.
follow, like, this is what you got to send me exactly. So
Oh yeah.
did literally exactly as he said, and they did like an announcement video, and they're like, all right, first band that's coming on is Orange Moon Project. We're like, oh, again, here we go again. Like, I'm not like, we're just like, again, nothing, like we're not doing anything crazy. It's just we got a show booked and it's cool. But
That's what happens.
that's probably the next thing we're really looking forward to is up in Schnecksville doing Carnival of Chaos. We're gonna be playing alongside of 5 other bands or 4 other bands. I'd have to look at it. I forget. But we're excited to play alongside all of them because they're all incredibly talented. I mean, very, very talented. They're more my speed of things. They're a little heavier, so I'm more excited for this one.
Okay.
After that, the game plan is to sit down and really work on new songs and
That's important.
start working on an album completely. Like,
Very important.
so no shows, no nothing. Maybe a couple things, maybe 1 or 2 things here and there, maybe. But
Well, you got to get the studio album so you can actually start the world tour. Then, so you got
yeah, the focus. We just want to get stuff out now because it's like, again, people can come to the shows, but they're not going to know the songs. But so if you give them the songs,
That's
they
fair.
have something to look forward to. So that's after Schnecksville.
There you go.
We're gonna take time, work on new songs, start recording an album, put out a single or 2, and then we'll just see how things go. But
So you got to. Well, here's the thing: you got to make this cooler though when you say this. So in the musical term, what they're saying is, we're canceling the road tours. We're getting back into the studio to turn out an album or so. Then maybe we'll go back on the road. That's what you're essentially saying here, basically, just for the the neophytes out there.
To make it sound cooler, we'll go with what you said.
Well, you have to. I mean, come on. Listen, I'm giving you a plug here, man. Like, this is the thing. We have Mr. Humble Pie here. We're trying to launch things for the band, and again, maybe I'm like, so you got to give me something because we're trying to make this sound cool. And again, this is for listeners who could be all over the globe here. Okay, so like, if you want exposure, dude, this is the spot. Like, but you got to be. I don't have to coach you on it. You got to be more professional with it. Make it sound cool, like, even if it's lame. Like, that's like I used to say. We used to say for the show, like, we have these stupid little lines or these things like we came up with that just kind of happen, and people are like, "Why do you have that?" I'm like, "Cause it just sounded fun." Does it sound like we know what we're doing? Sure. Do we know what the hell we're doing? No. But it sounds kind of neat. I gotta sound like I'm at least halfway competent because who's gonna listen otherwise? I mean, some of the greats even. You have to have some level of sanity where at least gives you a foundation to some extent. But that's really cool though because I mean again you really are embracing the journey of and again recognizing like again you're not saying you don't want to do more shows but like you're trying to prioritize where the importance of what's going to come next. And I think obviously in my opinion doing music for that one, an album would be nice because and actually matter of fact I think Mickey said they did their EPs, they just put out their songs there too, like they're relatively new. And again I told her I said a lot of those tracks they're so catchy from that one. And
Garbage USA.
That's my favorite, honestly.
Yeah.
Of the and I said to her like I think she explained in the latter part of the interview like how that even came about, where it flows and it happens. But like you see where the notoriety becomes like this is what they're kind of being known for. So you kind of want that same experience where you get a few good hits on an album that people are going to be humming, singing. They're going to know. They're going to be singing it too. Like then you do that show where you're on stage and you're like, sing it. You guys sing it. Like we don't need to. You do it. So, but it's a smart move. I think really that could give you a huge boost. And
I think so.
Honestly, and again with social media and with things so easily accessible on digital nowadays, it makes it that much easier. Like. You still want the experience of touring, being out there doing shows live and stuff, but when you have the other outlets of like even these music places like Spotify, like SoundCloud, like all these stuff where you can upload music to, like, and it's funny because I don't remember if we said it on the interview or if I said it to her off the air. I think I said it to her off the air when I mentioned, like, I said to Mickey, "Oh, I heard your songs on SoundCloud." She goes, "You did? Where'd you hear this?" I said, "Oh." She goes, "That was one of the other guys in the band. He has his own like production company, so he uploaded them." So I'm like, oh, you didn't know? But I'm like, no, I remember. She goes, yeah, I remember now. That's his. And I'm like, because I said, it's out there. It's on SoundCloud. That's where I listened to it. And so, it really would be nice to have that, because, again, that could launch you. And the same thing, again, we do here is, and I say the same thing for Mickey, we're plugging the band. We're trying to, we have a pool of different audience, maybe people that you haven't seen or heard you before. Like, we're trying to open doors for people because, again, we're all trying to collectively, and again, the exposure is good for you guys. It's good for us too. It works, in tandem. It works hand in hand. But and that's where you got to do it, because sometimes, and some people, I tell people when I share with them, like, what are your secrets? Like, what are the tips and the tricks for the shows and what you do? Other than being yourself, like, if you can work with people, that's even better, because
that's all it is. It's just
it really, truly, it's the same, because you have. And I don't know if you might have seen the episode of the Pod Squad. That's more frequent. I did that recently. I just actually got added to the main cast there. But, we're all a bunch of different people, but we bring uniqueness to the table because, it's craziness that people seem to like. Like, even we did the show Thursday night, and one of the other guys who's on the show with us on there, he checks the numbers. He's like, dude, like, the episode just dropped, like, we went off the air, and, like, he's like, we already got, like, 500 views on it. Like, the numbers are spiking. I'm like, well, that's because I think the collectiveness, and I said that on the appearance on the show for Adini, who hosts the show on his other podcast. I said last night, that's the chemistry that you have there. It's like a good TV show or a good movie. If you have good quality people and you have a good story, or at least a good platform there, it really makes things happen, like, beautifully. And the same thing with bands and with artists for that, too. You have to have the right combination. So, but I think that's really cool, and we're obviously going to be excited to see how that pans out. And again, anyway, we can help you guys. We will for sure. Same thing. The goal is, and our thing is, which might be similar. I shared this too the other night. I did the episode last night. I said, look, our plan has been, we always want to super exceed what we did the previous year. Like, last year we had a goal. Yep. I think we exceeded that. This year we had a goal. We exceeded that. Now. And I said, honestly, we sometimes sit there and we contemplate what exactly was the turning point. And I said this on the episode last night. If you guys missed it, check it out, review show. Sorry, shameless plug there. But the biggest goal was, a long-standing goal was, we got the website launched and running this year. And that was something that I did not think was even, I got to admit, I didn't even know, like, we had advertised it so much, but I'm like, if this is not going to come to fruition, and I hate to disappoint people, because I think it's awesome, and I think it's a great concept, but we just couldn't find the right pieces to build and make it and all this stuff. But it found us. It came out. We did the editing. We added things. They actually even they linked the feed to the episodes, so that's why we tell people now, you can even go on the website and listen to the episodes. They're right there. So, like, all this stuff, like, we kind of almost gave up on it, walked away, and all of a sudden it just came right back. And so that little piece alone, which doesn't sound like much maybe to some people, that made the year for us. Like, and, obviously the guest list is growing, and we mentioned we have a couple of feelers out there. We always try to find, something, and doesn't mean we're always going to hit it, but you have to be, and I'm sure you guys can relate with your solo projects or the band, you have to be comfortable in yourself and what you're doing. Because you're going to have speed bumps. You're going to have, sometimes you move forward, sometimes you go backward. There's always that little give and take opportunities. But I think honestly, I think if you guys can pull that off and do that, I think you'll have something special and unique there. So I think that's gonna be awesome. So what I'm gonna do here, actually, we'll take one final break. We're gonna come back. We'll do our final segment. We're gonna do a little miscellaneous section. I'm gonna put this out there. Obviously, this is a whole show. We could go all night there to that, but we have our limit too for recording as well. So as much as I would love to stretch it, there is a limit even for us. But that just means, obviously, we have to save more for another time, which will obviously, get you to come back here. And of course, we're gonna plug some stuff. And like I said, we'll be in touch. So anything you want to share with us, we can share on the air on social media. We'll do. But so we're gonna dive that. We'll have a little heart-to-heart powwow kind of thing to get ready to wrap things up after this next break. But lots of great stuff there, and I will say it is hard. You have a good poker face of I'm gonna have to work on my A game to try to see if this is the most I can get out of talent. When I get other celebrity, or if I get guests or people on here, I'm gonna have to try to work on my motif to try to force things out. But if they're all like you, I'm gonna get nowhere. So hopefully, if I can make it through here, I can make it through anything else. So I appreciate the practice anyway. That helps. But we're gonna come back, you guys. We're at our minute count. We're gonna come back for one more segment there, and then we're going to get ready to wrap up for the evening. But we love having Austin here. We're having a great time. I'm sure you are having a great time. It's awesome.
I'm having a great time.
That's great. It just makes the show, and obviously our audience is going to be tickled pink, and I'm sure they're going to want to know, and that's why we're throwing this out there. I'm going to keep saying it. We're going to have them come back, so you'll have to wait. We can announce that later too. But we'll wrap up with some more stuff. We'll talk a little bit. We'll come back here, and we'll make sure we covered everything. We didn't miss anything. And then, of course, near the end of it, we always say, we do our sales pitch and our spiel where you can promote everything.
Plug
where
everything.
Can we find this and that, yada, yada. So we'll do that there. So this is it, you guys. This is going to be the last break. So make sure if you've been holding that bladder of pee, now's the time to go empty it. Make sure you go to the bathroom if you want a snack.
Or find the nearest bottle.
Whatever works. If you got, listen, I don't know what you're going to do during the break. I got to run to the bathroom too. But hey, to each his own. That's fine. Whatever you got to do, that's cool. But hopefully you guys are enjoying this, having a great Saturday night. We're going to come back for more. We'll be keeping you abreast of things going on with Orange Moon Project and with Austin's solo gigs and projects he's got going on, whatever he's got working there. We're still working on some collaborations that we want to do as well to try to help get the word out. But if you guys want it, check it out. I'm going to play this song again, the song that Austin has that he's been holding out on. I'd love to hear what other projects he's got, but the song is Brightburn from... He's got a whole catalog of songs he's been sitting on. So we're going to play this again, and we will probably play the song when it comes out and releases as well. But thank you guys so much for being here, too, as well. We're going to wrap things up when we come back. Still not quite done yet. This is a special extra-long episode to appease you guys. We're going to do that, plus a bit more when we return. Stay tuned to catch up with the exciting conclusion of the episode tonight. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Stay tuned.
Hey audio fans, are you looking for fun and excitement? Have you been searching for that special show? You know, the one complete package you want in a podcast? Then check out the What's Up Bro podcast show and experience what true entertainment is all about. Stay tuned and don't miss the action. Available on your favorite streaming services, including YouTube. Thank you for all your support. And as always, we'll see you at the show.
We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back to the show with more in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
Hey there, do you love podcasts? Are you having difficulty finding the right ones to listen to? Is it frustrating when you're trying to pick that show? You know, the one where everyone must collectively agree on? Like finding a good movie or TV show to watch, do you look for the most jam-packed entertainment that's possible to find in a single episode every week? Then search no more, and welcome to J&J Production Studios. It's our business to provide the best entertainment and information available for you. Whether you're sitting in that comfy chair with your favorite snack and beverage listening live each week, or downloading your favorite show episodes to take with you on the go while you're at work, exercising, or even just to play at night for you to fall asleep to. There's something for everyone, no matter what size, shape, or age you are. Visit www.linktree.com/J_J Production Studios to find all the streaming services where our podcast shows can be found. You can also connect with us on your favorite social media platforms, including Facebook and Twitter. You can join our public Discord server and chat directly with us. But wait, there's more. You can subscribe to our official YouTube channel and be notified every time a new show is broadcast. Wish you could have some studio souvenirs or collectibles? Guess what? You can. Visit the official store where you can purchase items featuring your favorite podcast and show hosts. Would you like to help support us? You can do that by getting your very own exclusive membership on our Patreon account. All proceeds go to help us upgrade our shows, which will only enhance the entertainment provided to you. Thank you so much. We're excited to have you as an audience. Your love and support are always appreciated. We'll see you soon.
Break time is over. We're so glad you stayed tuned. Now back to the action as the show is set to resume.
All right, welcome back, guys, again. Thanks so much for hanging out. It's a special long edition episode. We're actually pushing the envelope with our time frame, but it's nice because we don't get a lot of guests that can do this very often. So this is great. We're going to get Austin back in here. We're going to head into the final segment of the series here. We're actually going to title this part. We haven't used this for a while. We'll call this our shoot the shit moment because we used to call it that. We'll explain it to Austin in a minute. I'm going to see if I can prank him coming back in here, actually. Let's see. Wait. Oh, where's my thing? Hang on. I got to restart the... Whoops. Sorry, hang on. I did do one boo-boo. There we go. Got to start the meeting first, man. Jeez. I mean, I'm proud of myself for not messing up on the mics. But, I'm going to forget something, so... But yeah, I'll get the pictures to you guys later. I've got the photos. I've got the evidence there. Everything's going good. There's underwear shots. There's all kinds of weird things going on there. I've seen inside the closet. Oh, hey, look, he's back. Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
What about underwear?
No, nothing. It's all good. It's all good. I just said we have the paparazzi shots hanging on that, so we know what's going on. No, I'm kidding. See, I told you we'd get in there, guys. Told you what happened. So we're gonna kind of BS for a little bit here because we titled this when we started the series. We call it our shoot the shit moments. So this is kind of potpourri. This is your spotlight in the limelight if you want.
The rest of this wasn't a spotlight moment.
Well, that was the professional moment. This is where this is the time of night, and this is the time of the segment of the show, which is the later show. This is like watching the late show, where you just have to be an ass on the air, basically. So, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, easily done. I can do that,
we do it every week, so that's. But for the guests, this is a unique opportunity where we try to do that. But well, I want to start, and I want to say this. This is why I'm saying, and we plug this where it'd be nice to have you come back there. It's nice to get. We always enjoy having guests on the show. We've had quite a bit. If you go back and look, there's been so many. Again, we're going to highlight this episode, a lot of different things. I'm going to be editing this when this show goes off because I have to upload a lot of stuff, which, based on the timeline, is probably going to take a while. But it is worth it. The quality's good. I will say, too, one of the things that we really utilize while we have the Zoom effect is the hardest challenge was, for Big Hoss and I being in different parts of the country, was finding a way to connect us so we sound like we're in the same spot. And so we had Zoom, actually. I figured out how to build it into the software so it makes the audio better. And naturally, like some of you guys, like even Mickey had her studio set up. I do have my mics and stuff. I'm in the process of transferring to another studio spot, which is pretty much set up. But I haven't had, like we say, life gets in the way, so I haven't been able to sit and get the computer up running and get everything re-downloaded and reinstalled. And put back in the order, so I'm kind of, so I'm still doing the show here because we don't want to, take a hiatus forever. But, it works out that way. So, but yeah, so what? Okay, let's do this. We'll play a little fun game here for this one. So, you have
I'm nervous.
Oh, that's okay. No, it's good. I mean, there's nothing embarrassing unless you want to read something from your diary. But, Dear Diary. You have a poster of somebody hanging over your wall. Is it the Backstreet Boys? You can be honest. Or is it NSYNC? I mean, come on, tell me the truth. It
actually is the Backstreet Boys.
See, I knew it. I'm telling you. I don't know what it is. It's the '90s thing, but it comes back. I mean, now we're gonna embarrass you here. This is not part of the game. This is a bonus. But do you have it above your bed? Do you lay there hoping the tape will give out and hope that it comes right down on you, kind of thing? Do you fangirl it, or what's the deal?
Not so much on that, and that's just
Okay.
because when I sleep next to Ashley, I think I don't want her to get scared when there's a
That's
cardboard cutout of a man coming down at both of us.
Yeah.
It's one thing I might get a little excited.
A cardboard man. Oh wow! I only said poster. He said a cardboard cutout.
Yeah, man. We gotta go the whole mile with this. No poster paper, man. We gotta go full life size cutout.
Well, then what you gotta do is you gotta have a share, since you share the bed there. You guys have to agree on a cardboard cutout that you could both live with if you both get smacked by it or for some reason. So there,
that's a good point.
See, that, I mean, just a thinking outside the box moment, but I think it's important to include that. But so there you go. So here's the fun part of the game. We're gonna ask this question. You can be brutally honest here, not just here. Well, first of all, is this really the first kind of podcast that you had experience with? That's the first question.
This is the first podcast I've ever been on. The guys and I had been interviewed once a week before our first Sherman show on. I don't want to say it was a podcast. I think it's just like an interview live stream that the band does.
Probably.
Called Bellwether Ritual.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're a really great band. They sound great. Which they put out a new album.
They're not like us, so that's not podcasting. They wish they were us. They want to be us, kind of thing. But, yeah.
they do a lot with like the local bands and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so they really that's like their whole focus. It's just local scene music and whatever. So we were on with them for about an hour, something like that. But it was all four of us together, and it was cool.
Okay.
It was really nice, but like that was really kind of new to all of us. Like we're all looking like we all talked about it before. Like, okay, so who's gonna be the idiot that screws this up? Who's gonna say this? But we just were like,
yes, but yeah, go ahead.
we quickly were just like, just whatever. Like it'll be what it's gonna be. Like if they ask questions, we just do whatever. Like it's all good. We just had a good time with it. But yeah, you're the first podcast that I've been on. I don't know about the rest of the guys. I think I'm the first one on the podcast platform so far.
You always remember your first, so I'm honored for that one. And we did sweet talk you, and aside from buying you dinner, we didn't get you in the sack right away either. But
I appreciate that. I like to be courted.
Well, this is only the first date, so technically we have more time. But no, my question was too is compared to the experience, like what is this like for you? I mean, obviously this is a little bit different vein in the music world too for that, but and you don't have to use the show here as an example, but obviously it's the first show, so I guess you have no choice. See what I did there? But what did you feel like? I mean, again, this is, and especially from you being solo, because this is your chance to be alone. Like, how does it feel? Do you feel intimidated? I am a big personality, I get it, but I'm not going to be offended. How does it feel? Give me your thoughts there, feedback-wise.
This guy and his ego, my God.
I had to do it at least one time. Come on, I gave you the whole show mostly, so give me one of these. Damn. I mean, come on now.
Nah, I have no complaints, man. I'm very happy with this experience. I was very flattered when you had even asked me to be on the show, because when I texted you, I was like going through people on my phone. I was like, who has tickets for the show? And I'm like, I could ask Justin, but I'm like, I think he has the podcast on Saturday night. So I'm like, he probably can't come. So I was actually texting you because I was like, I'm going to see.
Listen, I can. Here's. Let me just interrupt here. I'll put it this way, because if this ever happens, like I thought about. The thing is, I have to know ahead of time, which is, of course, I could. We could do two things, actually. One, I can always take it mobily, and I can bring it with me, because I can do the show from my phone.
That's true.
I can... Technically, it's pirating, but if it's your music and you don't care, I can broadcast it live from the podcast. I'm just going to put it out there. If you see somebody walking around with their phone, that's me, because I'm broadcasting it from there. That's one thing. The second thing, and this is actually a fun little thing we can do, and I'll put this out there and let us know whenever you have a show if you get tickets again. If you want to, if you have extra, let us know. I can take them. We can score it. We can raffle them here on the show. Mm-hmm. We'll use that as incentive too. We'll post some pics of it. We'll get it out. It doesn't have to be a lot. I mean, if you have, I don't want to take away from your whatever you are allotted for whatever, but if you can cut a few loose, whatever you want, we'll put them up, like, because we like to have a little fun auction and things, not auction, but like giveaways on the show. So it might be a nice little promotional thing. So let me know if you have a show down the future. You're going to have some tickets there. If you can score us a couple, like, I'd love to come out at least to one show myself too, but we will advertise and we'll put that out there. And you guys are hearing this on here, so make sure. And the only way to do that, though, you have to follow us on social media, because we will post photos of that. We will mention it. Maybe I'm going to do this too, because I love doing this, because we have a giveaway right now for this too, but we might actually see about doing. I'm gonna make him really blush here. We're gonna see about getting some signed items. Maybe we get you guys to sign a few things.
Hold on.
So if you,
I have a very large set of panties that we were given to at our last show.
Wait a minute.
So
do you wear?
And actually, they're not at my house here. They're actually at my singer's house. So I don't know. Maybe we'll collectively sign them together.
Go ahead. Hey, we'll shoot a shot there. Listen, and if any of you ladies show up and want your bras signed, I mean, hey, it's a show. But I'm just putting it out there, so we can listen. You don't. Disclaimer is you can't you can't be upset if they do show up. I'm just trying to help, just to be clear. But
Let me
no.
let me do preface this with the panties though. They were a gag gift. It was not from any woman in the audience nor a man. It was a
Good.
gag.
I feel better now.
I
Yeah.
do not want anybody to think that some weird stuff was going on. Nothing happened.
The only
One
thing
of
that
our
would
friends.
be weird is if you told me you actually wore them for a while and then you had them kept. That would be weird. But as long as we're okay.
Well, I was thinking about it, but I thought they're a little too big for me.
Oh, that's what that shot was with the band. I saw that on Instagram, and the guys were wearing it one leg each kind of thing with that shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a friend, and he brought a pair of panties, and he's like, "I'm gonna get a good laugh out of everybody." So he threw up these panties, and we're like, "Yo,
I didn't know what they were at first. I'm like, geez, okay.
Well, yeah, because we were all staring down, and we're like, "What the hell is this?" We all bent down, and John pulls it up, and it's like, "Oh, these are panties!" Like, oh my god, they're huge. So we're looking at each other like, "Oh, like." Okay, who did it? And like the lights are down, so you can't see anybody, but I could hear the voice and I knew who it was. I was like, "Oh, this guy,
Do you want to know honestly what I thought when I first saw him? I'm like, those are Mrs. Claus's panties. Like, what the heck?
Oh my
was Santa?
god!
I mean, I'm serious. Like, I look at him like, okay, that's different, but no, that's little gimmicks like that are fun. But yeah, no, we'll do like I said. I definitely had planned, and because of the timing of it, I knew we had things booked, but. We can always postpone. Like I said, I try to get some shows out there so it gives us a night off. We'll definitely have to come at least once if there's one close by. But yeah, if you have any tickets or if you guys, if you need merch or you have merch, whatever, we can do stuff on the show. We can try to do big promotions for that. That's part of our system that we do here, which we can always talk about that later. But I'm just saying that's out there, so don't be. And again, we're not trying to step on toes. We're just trying to be like, hey, if you can use this as a soundboard to get out there, we'll do what we can. We're not looking to profit off of you. It's just like it's great exposure for us. But if it helps you to get, noticed,
It's a good business opportunity.
Yeah, that's what I'm always looking for opportunities. So there's an option there. But that's going to be fun. But again, I think it's awesome, and I think we'll get some opportunities. We're gonna touch base about another chance to come back. Obviously, we'll talk more. Definitely, we can schedule something too. Like if you have a show coming up, and we can promote that, get you on before that, even whatever. That's always an option. So there's all kinds of things. Listen. I don't have to go to the director for this one. I write everything. I run the ship here.
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't need clearance. I sign the checks. I cover all that stuff, so we're good.
Okay.
And I act as our own publicist too. So unless you guys have people I can contact, pretty much I do all that anyway. So, but that would be awesome. So we'll definitely chat about that. I got some thoughts. We can share some things. Talk to the guys. We'll try to get them on too if they want to come on sometime. We can do that.
Yeah, I really think they'd love to.
Yeah, no, the more the merrier. Like I said, we have a party when we very rarely get a lot of people on. So if we can do that, that would be awesome. I think it would be nice to fit in to have everybody here, and then of course you guys get the exposure for everybody. But you just happen to be first. You're the guinea pig who gets tested first to see how the show goes if it actually works. If we're gonna be honest. But listen, I want to do this though because we're gonna do these last couple of minutes here. We're gonna do a little shameless plug in advertising. So obviously, I'm gonna say this again, but thank you very much for coming on too. It's been great. Obviously, we'll look forward to it again. We'll do it soon. But so let's do. We always tell our guests here, you can if you have personal stuff or just the band page, or whatever. Where can our listeners find? Either you or Orange Moon Project, where are you located socially wise? Where can we hear music? Tell us. We're complete idiots about that. So where do we find you? Let us know. Go ahead, shoot.
I am on Facebook at Ausin Anema. I am on Instagram at a.anema, and then Orange Moon Project is at Orange Moon Project on both Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, that's about it. There is a Slasher Vision page, and that's at Slasher Visions on Facebook, and there is same thing on Instagram at Slasher Visions. The other project is not up yet, and that's still in the works of name and that kind of stuff.
Oh, so really
nothing
research
with that.
and development. Yeah, I got you. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, research development department right now.
There you go. Well, awesome. Well, that's still cool. Okay, well, we'll point everybody in that direction. And again, we'll tag everybody there. We'll try to we usually tag and so everybody kind of sees too, so we can sort of kind of funnel that through. But yeah, we'll work on some stuff, you guys. We're gonna see, if the guys want to do some stuff, we can get some things out there. We have some opportunities where we can share with the audience here too. But like I said, we can give a giveaway, maybe the merch, or we could do tickets. Like if you have shows, we'll do that. There's plenty of opportunities. So if you guys, and I'm still gonna push the sign stuff. So I want to say this. So one other note, I noticed this, like, and this is my only joke for the evening. But when I saw what you have your tag for your user on Instagram, if I didn't get that period in time, I almost want to say your name is an enema. So I'm like, he takes an enema. Like, how does that happen? I get it now. Like, it's just the whole, if you don't watch the punctuation, it can screw you up big time. So
yeah,
there is that. But
nobody's ever gotten it right throughout high school. So it's like when people say my last name, it's not Anema. Like, it's not that. Please don't think it is. It's like it's Anema. It's like anemic. Like, go with that. Play
that
safe.
works. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Well, that's like for me too. But I never got. I stopped telling people because they just you call me whatever. I'll answer. I don't care. It's know.
You end up turning your head anyway. So it's just like, what do you want?
Well, it's funny that people look at you. They go, "You probably never." I've heard it before. There's nothing you haven't said about it. I've heard them all. So you know, it's not my first rodeo. But I just thought it was funny. I'm like, boy, an anemone. Like, okay, we're getting there. So
okay, Nemo.
I know, right? I'm going old school, but you got to have fun with that too. But no, this has been great, and I hope you guys enjoy it. This is actually a record breaking. This is our longest episode ever. So congrats to us. But we hope you guys will listen to it. It's fun. If you didn't catch it live, that's okay. You can catch it. This is going to go up. I got some work to do thanks to Mr. Anema here, or Anema, whatever you want to call it, because I gotta. The uploading takes a bit, but that's okay. I'm gonna be up anyway, so I'm not worried. I'm just yanking your giggle chain there.
Hey man, I went from the impression we were doing an hour and we turned it into what, 3 hours? Holy crap!
This is what I'm saying. Like, this is why this might be a series in and of itself. And again, if we get, I'm definitely gonna tell you we're coming back. I'm gonna tell you what the stats are in the next few days. If they shoot through the roof like I'm expecting them to. You're going to be making an appearance regularly, even if I have to have a signed contract, which we're going to do. I'm just putting it out there. So if you think you might want an agent to go over it, be my guest. But
oh man, I'm my own manager and lawyer.
Okay, well then we'll discuss.
I will have to look that over.
That's okay. We got plenty of stuff. I got plenty of stuff. We'll be chatting. We'll be sharing stuff. We're going to surprise you guys. And again, you can follow the band Orange Moon Project. Follow Austin. Check it out. We will share links there as well. Again, of course, linktree.com/J_J Production Studios. Check us out on social. We will be advertising things for the group and all kinds of neat stuff. We'll have Austin back. We're going to have all kinds of fun things coming up down the road. But this has been a great way. This has been a busy weekend for us. This was the episode. We've been looking forward to this, and now we see how well it went. We're looking forward to it again. Looking forward to you coming back. But thank you so much for being here, dude. Great to see you again. Hopefully we'll catch up and not let too much time go away. But hit me up when you're free. We'll work this out again. Come on back. And again, bring whoever you want. We'll have a good time. We'll party like it's 1990. Wait, no, that's not right. Well, it is.
1987, 1999, whichever.
I guess what's the good party? The 80s? We'll party like the 80s maybe? 90s weren't bad.
90s was just weird.
That's it. See, I don't know. I don't want to make this too weird. I don't want to say, let's have a pajama party. That's too much.
Hey, man.
Or a sleepover.
PJs for onesies, whatever we got to do.
I got an extra big sleeping bag, but I'm just saying. But I'm just kidding.
Offer is accepted.
There you go. Well, maybe we'll broadcast. We'll have a sleepover night. We can have fun with that. That'll be awesome. But
oh man,
I know. I got all these ideas. I'm gonna be sharing them. Like, and be like, these guys nuts. Like, I don't know. But but thanks so much, dude. We appreciate having you here. Hope you'll come back soon. Any final thoughts you want to share with the listeners? Anything you want to? You have a cool catchphrase. Now's the time. Go for it.
Not a catchphrase. I do just want to I just do want to make a special shout out to just a handful of people. I want to just say thank you to my other half, Ashley, for being the most amazing partner I've ever had in my entire life. Thank you for supporting me for all the stuff that I've done. I want to say thank you to the guys for welcoming me into the band.
Of course,
having an opportunity like this happen with you and I right now would not have happened had I not joined them.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Brittany, for your melted cheese sauce. It is immaculate.
It's the little things, but hey, sure.
Yes. Obviously, the big thank you to all of our family and friends who have come out to the show, have supported us with everything.
Definitely.
And then probably the most important one at this moment, I will say, is I would like to say thank you to Anna and Izzy. They are two friends of mine that I work with. They have really shown up and done a lot to kind of just put out the reach and put out the word with us. I mean, they've gone the extra mile and then some. I mean, she came to our last show and she got up on stage and sang with us even. So I mean, like they really support us, and they're just good people. So I want to make sure they get acknowledged because I love them too. They are two of the most beautiful people I've ever met in my entire life.
Well, I gotta say too. This is a spoiler for you guys. We talked about this off the air, but just keep this in mind, bookmark it. This could be your Grammy acceptance thankfulness speech. So be sure you mark this down. Make sure you write that down. Keep footnotes because this could be. He said, "I don't have the Grammy yet." I said, "Just you wait. You will have the Grammy, and then we're gonna have a big party for that too. But give it time." You think I'm
After
joking?
party at my house.
There you go. Your big mansion with the bowling alley in it. We're gonna do that. That's gonna be fun. We'll have a whole big party there. But no, it's been great. It's been great, man. This is a wonderful weekend there. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Best of luck with the band going forward. Obviously, we'll be in touch.
You.
And again, we got some ideas. We'll keep talking. I know we have some things we were talking about incorporating. We'll keep working on that stuff. But it's been truly a pleasure. Again, this is a great way for us to cap off our weekend. So we're glad to have you. And again, just thank you a bunch, and we'll talk soon, and hopefully get you back here really soon, as quickly as you wish. So, the world is your oyster, so whatever as you say it goes, right?
Yeah, man, it was a good time, man. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. I look forward to the next one.
So do we. Appreciate it, man. Thanks so much. Take it easy. Have a good one, and we'll catch you next time. Okay?
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, peace out. Have a good night.
You too, bro.
All right, take it easy. All right, you guys. That's going to do it. Thanks for hanging out here. It's been great. I apologize. It's longer than we thought, but we want to make it special. This is not often we get such a special group or a special guest that comes in. I had no idea, just like with the Mickey interview, sometimes we script these things, sometimes we don't. But it's wonderful. I hope you enjoy it. Listen to it in stages. I know it's a bit longer, but we're going to have Austin come back. It's amazing. Check it out. Orange Moon Project. We'll be in touch with them. We'll see about maybe doing some things with raffling with tickets, that kind of stuff. May have some merch in the future. We will be following close by. Hopefully you guys will as well. But that's going to do it for us tonight. For all of us here at J&J Production Studios, we will be back next weekend for more. Hope you guys are excited just like we are. Cannot wait. Looking forward to it. It'll come quicker than you think. But we also will play some more stuff for Austin there. We'll try to add some teasers a bit in there, and hopefully we get the music. We'll incorporate that as well. But we love you guys so much. Appreciate you all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good night. Goodbye for now. And of course, and as always, until next time, when we see you at the show. Take care, everybody. Good night. See you next time.
Thank you for listening to the What's Up Bro show. Catch all the latest live action on your favorite podcast streaming services, including Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. You can also check out episodes on the studio's official YouTube channel. Subscribe and become a member today. Don't forget to also turn on notifications so you'll know when new content is uploaded. Stay tuned and don't miss a single moment. We love and appreciate all your support. And as always, we will see you at the show.